love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. I'm so gone, no I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
Ooh, how we all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Isn't that heavy? Wasn't that spicy? Ooh, that was great. Gotta love it. That was some fantastic intro. How we all doing tonight? I hope that we are all revved up and ready to go. We are in for an absolutely great time here on Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen. Presented by the Infinite Racing League. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. IRL is back in the house. I had to make a quick adjustment, sorry folks. So, as you can see on the screen in front of you, we're at COTA, ladies and gentlemen. We're at COTA. So, if we remember last week, our winner of our 80 minutes at Kyalami with the 2 mandatory pit stop ended up being Johnny B in the Audi. Currently right now in practice, he is the fastest driver around COTA here in the Americas today. That's all I'm going to tell you. Massive grid. This is going to be exciting, folks. I hope you're ready. If you're not, I suggest within the next 10 to 15 minutes to make sure those refreshments and those snacks are fully stocked and ready to go for a 1 hour showdown at Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. So, another very difficult racetrack with some very high speed sections coming into some very hard braking zones here. We have several cars on the grid here tonight. We have 25 drivers currently sitting inside the pit lane with cars on the track. This one is going to be epic, chat. Absolutely epic. So welcome in. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Family-friendly stream, ladies and gentlemen. Podium interviews will come follow after the stream. And it's going to be a long one. So right now, currently the drivers are in a 60-minute practice. So as soon as I find what I'm looking for. There we go. So as we can see on the screen here. Oh, we got a driver bailing. Let's follow around with Irish Jerry here right now. So we're just out in the garage menu right now. We're just chilling. We're just watching from inside the commentator's box. You can see it's a little bit gloomy outside here today. So we're going to try and stay as dry as we can for as long as we can. Now the weather is on variable here. So it is not out of the question to potentially see maybe some moisture today. You can see on the screen in front of you lots of clouds over Austin, Texas here this afternoon. So drivers been preparing here for quite a while, and we're getting ready to settle in for what should be a pretty crazy race here at Circuit of the Americas. Again, ladies and gentlemen, presented by the Infinite Racing League IRL. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, seen on the bottom of the visuals in front of you. And of course, a huge shout out to Coach Dave Academy up in the top left hand side of the screen. This is Eseta Corsa Competizione PS5 edition. So a little bit of a boost, a little bit of an upgrade for ACC on the PS5 side of things. Got some DLCs down in the PS side of the realm, the PC side of the realm of ACC. So we've got some new cars, we've got some new tracks, and we're showcasing a little bit of both. Here for everybody tonight. So we have a little bit of time to kill. So let's talk about it, shall we? We're just gonna check in. Magic Man, let's go. Good luck, drivers. Hey, appreciate you, my guy. Welcome in. We see you out there. We appreciate you. Let's talk about Circuit of the Americas. So the information I have at my disposal, it is of course located, as we've already said, in Austin, Texas, in the United States of America. It has a seating capacity of 150,000 people. Fantastic for great racing, isn't it? It broke ground in December 31st, 2010, and opened officially in October 21st, 2012. So only a 10-year-old track here. Current running major events here at Circuit of the Americas is the Formula One United States Grand Prix, the F1 Academy, Grand Prix Motorcycle Racing, Moto America, NASCAR Cup Series, Texas Grand Prix, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the Pit Boss 250, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Expel 225, and the Trans Am Series, the Austin Speed Tour. That is what is currently happening here at Circuit of the Americas right now on the racetrack. What else can we find out about our lovely little track here today? Well, our drivers continue just to warm up and run some laps around the track. And you can see, again, spectator mode is fairly new to the PS5 version as far as functionality goes. So we're going to see some little blips and blaps here and there. But as long as we don't hit the wrong button, we're good to go, chat. So let's see here. What do we got for fun little facts? Alright, a crowd of 117,429 spectators watched the United States Grand Prix in November of 2012. After 4 years of Formula One not hosting a Grand Prix in the U.S., in October 2022, the three-day Formula One United States Grand Prix event drew a record number of fans. Roughly 440,000 people attended the event, breaking Formula One's attendance record of 400,000 set at the 2021 U.S. Grand Prix for an event held in North America. Sunday's race final drew over 150,000 spectators to Circuit of the Americas, breaking the inaugural Formula One race at the circuit of attendance in 2012. The surge was due to the popularity of F1 Drive to Survive in the United States and honoring of the 2020 tickets to the 2020 Grand Prix that was canceled due to the pandemic. Alright, cool. Yeah, look at that. We learned something, hey? They say you learn something new every day. Didn't know that about this track. I don't know much about this racetrack. And, as a North American, it's a little bit embarrassing to say. But as a commentator, we also have a lot to know about a lot of different places all around the world. So we learn as we go. And this track is going to provide for some pretty good racing. I mean, obviously, we've seen lots of real life racing on this racetrack. There is definitely do pass here moments and don't pass here moments. We'll have to see how 25 of our drivers handle that here today. So relatively decent start in our race in Kyalami in South Africa last week. So drivers and crews have been busy. They loaded these cars up into the trucks, got them to the planes, put them on the planes, flew them back all across the ocean into the United States of America, and get these cars, get these crews unloaded, settled into their accommodations and their time here at the racetrack in Austin, and right back to work. So some new faces coming in that missed round one, and some quite familiar faces here in round two. Great variety of cars here we're seeing on the racetrack as well. Seeing some Ferraris, we got a Lexus. Where else here? What else are we looking at here? Another Ferrari on track. The BMWs are quite popular here. We see some Porsches out there. We've got a few NSXs, McLaren. What else are we seeing? We see a Lamborghini on track as well. Aston Martin there. So a little variety here, so not too shabby. We're trying to get to the top half of the grid here. It looks like right now the Porsche leading the way, but the Audi very close behind, charging in second overall. So Aston Martin third, we got Audi in fourth, we've got Lamborghini in fifth, so Lamborghini showing a little prowess here as well. And then a couple of Beamers, and that NSX currently sitting in eighth with MX behind the wheel there. So then first Ferrari sitting currently in 11th place. Now we see the two Ferrari drivers have a rough start to the season here last week in Kyalami, so we'll see how they navigate the very difficult but very fun flowing racing circuit of the Americas. Alright, let's find another driver. We're just cruising. We're just randomly chilling, hanging out right now with our drivers. We got 3 minutes and 25 seconds left on the timer. You can see right up in the top right hand side of the screen. That is signifying the end of free practice. There'll be a cool down period. We head into qualifying. The drivers qualify. From there, we go racing, folks. We go racing. Whew. Drivers just putting in those final laps, those final runs, getting those final little numbers, that little bit of information. Everything matters here again. This is a set of Corsa, ladies and gentlemen, competition. So your tire pressures, your angles, your toes, your cameras, your aero, your ABS, your traction control system, everything matters. Brake ducts, you name it, it counts here. Hey, how you doing, John? We appreciate you coming in, my guy. Appreciate that thumbs up on the stream as well. Hope you're doing fantastic. Just checking in, making sure everything is rolling and cooking, and it does appear to be that way. Hello out there, everybody. Welcome. It's race night. It's Sunday night, and it's ACC style here, PS5 edition. All right. Still got those green flags out. Drivers have 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining of free practice here. So we're just hanging out, we're chilling as the guys are coming around here. As we're at the start-finish line, you can see that flag person there. He is working that flag today, folks. Look at him. That gentleman is absolutely working his heart out there. He is going to need an ice pack, folks. Oh, there we go. Oh, and we're going to pull that yellow out. Oh, hold on. No, going back to green. That is some fancy changing work right there. That flagman has got some skills. Boy, this boy is on it. My front right tire has no pressure. Got a flat on the way home. Oh, I got a little bit of a lean to the right bank there. I see, John. Hopefully everything's all right. Hopefully we got that all sorted out, my guy. That's unfortunate. We hate hearing that. We hate hearing that. Tires, such a nuisance, right? Well, do we have? Oh, we do have a couple guys. We got Cletus in that BMW out on track here, and that is a pretty sharp-looking GT3 race car, is it not, ladies and gentlemen? How we doing? How's everything sounding? Hopefully everything is sounding fantastic. Oh, I love it when that happens. Alright, we had some tense moments here in the commentary box today. The production crew is having some issues getting the connections working and getting everything flowing and going and running and rocking and rolling here today, but they worked their absolute hearts out all day long, and here we are live to bring all the action as it happens right in front of you on your TV screens, your cell phone screens, or that PC laptop screen, whether it be at home, at your office, or on the road. And if you're driving, I just hope you're listening. We appreciate you. Don't look at the screen. I was very close to home. I wasn't riding on the rim. I'll check it out in the morning. Pull out the pancake compressor. Hey, facts. Facts. That sounds like a tomorrow problem. Alright, so free practice is over here, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're in the garage. We don't need to return to the garage. Alright, so we're just chilling. We're rocking and rolling here right now. So you can see on the bottom right-hand side of the visual screen there. That is the track layout of course, Circuit of the Americas here. This is what we are going to be running here, and it's it almost looks like a fireman's axe in a sense, is how I like to describe it. So, lots of technical sectors followed up with some very long runs. We got these powerful GT3 cars out here, handled by some very skillful race car drivers. It's about to get spicy. We're getting close, chat. Countdown's ticking. 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from qualifying. We're going to start seeing our drivers put their paces out here around the Circuit of the Americas. Ooh. Are we ready? I don't know. I'm ready. Do you think Texas is ready, chat? You think Texas is ready for 25 of these beasts roaring down the city streets? Not the city streets, but the circuit streets of Road America? I think so. Texas is loud and proud, ladies and gentlemen. Those fans are screaming and waiting for a race. How about you at home? Are you ready? Are we ready for a race? 25 drivers checked in here tonight. We're getting close. Ooh, here we go. JP is fastest in practice. Johnny B's second place, right behind him. Darmel in third. Captain Nor in fourth. We got Adrena in the Lamborghini in 5. We got Awesome Paulie in 6th. Cletus in 7th. Bloxham in 8th. Have Beefy J in 9th. We've got Fluka in 10th. Call Me CJ in 11th. Little Mac in 12th. Hey, Little Mac, how we doing, brother?
Green light. Go, go, go.
There we go. Qualifying 20 minutes underway. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get busy, and look at this just flood of cars coming out of pit lane, getting ready to roar up the track here in Austin, Texas. And oh boy, if qualifying is already any indication of what we're about to see tonight here, I think it is going to be a good night. So we're looking for a Ferrari. We're looking probably for this gentleman. No, we're looking for the other Ferrari driver. Where is he? We're looking right here. Alright, so let's jump on track with Norris Vet. Let's see if we can remember our buttons. Pray this doesn't. Okay, alright. We good, chat. We took the risk. We survived. Let's get to doing some commentating now, shall we? Alright, so outlap, everybody's warming the tires up, everybody's warming the brakes up, everybody's got X amount of fuel in their cars for qualifying. This has all been designed and set up, and these cars have X amount of fuel to make sure they just survive qualifying, so at their fastest point, the tires are as warm as they can be, and these guys are going to go out and they're going to send it. So we're not really 100% sure here who we're on board with right now. It was our Ferrari driver, but now we're just going to roll through this little juicy mid-pack of qualifying cars here as they're roaring down on this outlap. So we haven't even got across the start-finish line here. There's just a group of cars here very close together, and nobody's really wanting to give anybody any free space or clean air here right now. We got Ferrari a little bit out here. He's going to back off a little tiny bit. He's like, yeah, a little congested in here. I'm just going to hang tight. Some drivers opting to wait a little bit. Back on with Darmel. I believe Darmel's now out leading the pack here. We're in a very difficult sector in the left-hand side of the track map. We're in the garage there. So as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, we got a little bit of timing gauge there for everybody as well. Darmel is going to take us around here for a lap around the Circuit of the Americas here, ladies and gentlemen. Wrong buttons. Hey, we got it right. There we go. Let's jump on board with Darmel as he comes around here. We're going to say with this driver for this whole lap. Let's get a little perspective on what these drivers are up against. See it uphill, the left-hand corner here coming into turn 1. It's got a very sharp apex here. You got to be patient on the throttle. It's an undulating line coming back downhill. You got to get ready to come around for your next set of corners. Corner number 2 and 3 here. You see it's a little bit left and right. Got to manage that throttle. Got to manage the stability of the race cars that are coming through here, and you can definitely make or break a lap through this sector if you get it wrong, and it definitely cost you position in race lines, or even worse, potentially create an incident as well. So it can be a very difficult sector starting this race here, and as we just seen our leader go through our Darmel leading the pack here as our first official set of laps are underway here at Circuit of the Americas today. Coming into another hard braking zone here to the left-hand side. Whew, some spicy corners here. You can see it is just gloomy out in front of that windshield currently right now. Very hard to hear you. Car music is much louder. Alright. Just this. Alright. How's that, John? We appreciate you. ACC is so much louder than Gran Turismo. We still have to lock in the settings here. Alright, so here we go. You just keep me informed, my guy. Alright, we're starting to get near that point here. We're going to come around a couple more corners, and it's going to be that start-finish line. We got 2 left-handers, a decently sharp left-hander, and then a very hard and sharp left-hander coming up here. You see pit entry right on the other side there. Let's bring it back out into the TV crew here as Darmel brings us through the start-finish line, and is our first official qualifying time here as they settle across. So let's see where he settles in. Currently it'll be P1, obviously. And then we'll let them all come through. Take a second for the live timing to go through. Right now it looks like JP is in first. MX is, ooh, lost second. He had second there briefly. Cody Bass and Scott Arthur also coming in with the thumbs up. We appreciate you guys. So Darmel dropping quickly through the field here, all the way down into P11 as guys continue to cross the finish line here. So not the best lap from Darmel there to start his qualifying off. Make it rain there, certain in 10th currently. We still got a couple drivers just chilling in pit lane. We got I'm Too High for This here in 18th. We've got Norris Vet here in that Ferrari, little slide there. So we'll see if he's got a better handle on this car here around Circuit of the Americas today. Fluka as well. The car obviously proving to be an absolutely difficult car to handle around some of these tracks here. We've got Sir Boss here as well. So it's nice to see him back with his first race of the season as well. We got Bloxham here, and we've seen a little color change from that NSX here today. We're going yellow and red, I see here today, as he's coming through here, currently sitting in third. We've got Roblox coming through, and it's going to be a P11 as he comes across the line there. Let's stick with this driver here as he comes through as well. All right. Irish Jerry currently sitting in 15th here with his best lap being, ooh, taking the bailout. He's taking a run out lane here. He is going to bail out of that lap. Wait, make sure it's safe to get back on track. We're going to see a little bit of that here today in this race without a question of a doubt. We got Mr. Scoot in 24th. What a great name. In 24th place. We've got Adrena here in 13th. We've seen that Lamborghini strong in practice. We'll see what he can put together here in qualifying. We got Captain Noor with the Audi in 9th place here. Johnny B, our winner from last week, currently sitting in second with that Audi, so looking very strong here again. We still haven't found our pole sitter, and there is JP as he comes through with that Porsche, and he is very quick behind the wheel of this Porsche. I can assure you, I've been chasing this gentleman before on the old PS4 version in some series. This man can drive, so nice to see him right up front there leading the charge and looking real spicy here in round 2 at Circuit of the Americas. We got Beefy here. He's just hanging out there, not ready quite to come out, maybe letting some traffic go by. Got Viper here in 13th currently. We've got Nacho. We're going to call him Nacho because I like nachos. Ian coming in with that like and that share. Much love, my dude. Thank you for that extra support. We appreciate you with that share. Cletus in P6. Call me CJ in 20th in that BMW. Awesome Paulie in 4th, having a great qualifying here. And if I'm not mistaken, he had a pretty solid qualifying in round 1. It just didn't quite pan out for him probably the way he wanted it to last weekend's race in South Africa. So it's Racer 14 here in 23rd. And I believe it's 26 cars on the grid, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, this is going to be juicy. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we still got 12 minutes of qualifying left. Let's get it over. Oh, there we go. Been hiding that big screen from you guys and gals out there. I've been teasing you. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ghost, why you gotta be so mean to us out there in Viewerland? I apologize. I just forgot, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just having so much fun here in Austin, Texas with the guys on track here all week long, watching these guys roar around, listening to these cars, listening to these engines. Absolutely incredible stuff. What can I say? Tango 2. We haven't had Tango 2 up on the camera here yet tonight either, so Tango 2 up in that BMW here tonight as well, currently sitting in 9th place. We got Fluka just behind with Team Ferrari there sitting in 7th. We got Ram, one of our podium finishers from last week, sitting in 8th place, just coming in a close second behind Johnny B. We got Ram, speaking of, 317 right here, sitting in 10th place. We got Darmel here in 20th currently, and he is up right now on this lap. We still got some guys sitting in pit lane here. Maybe some SS penalties from our stewarding from last race. It's hard to say what's going on there. Maybe they're just opting not to qualify and start at the back of the pack. We do have yellow flag waving in front of the drivers here. We got a Ferrari just popping off here. Didn't like what was happening underneath that car, maybe. Alright, so let's stick with MX blocks him here as he starts putting his paces in around COTA here. Ooh, track limit right there. When you see that timer up in the top left of the screen under the viewer count go red, that means that lap isn't going to count. When the driver comes across the finish line, and he's going to be like, yep, nope, that ain't happening. We got another driver on a red lap. We got another driver on a red lap in pit lane. Hey, okay, there we go. We got a driver on a flying lap. So let's sit on board. Nope, nope, this driver doesn't want to show us either. All right, let's hang on with Johnny B here as he's coming around now, and he's on a red lap. Who's on a flyer here? There we go. All right, we got JP who's on a flyer here. Currently, he's up 0.4 of a second right now, too, on his best time put down here so far in qualifying. He's still currently sitting in pole position, so he is definitely cruising right now at 206.265. I'm not exactly sure where the next driver in behind him is sitting, because unfortunately I don't have any really way to switch anything. It's just nothing's working for me yet, chat. We're just going with it, you know. We're just rocking and rolling and making it work. And nobody wants to give us a lap, chat. Alright. We're not going to say who we're watching. We're just going to watch and see if they'll give us a good flying lap, as we got a up here as well on this driver right now, currently, as you can see, in the green as we're coming around the racetrack here. We're not even saying what position this driver is in. We're just chilling here right now and allowing the driver to do their thing. I don't know. They're all scared. Every time I talked about them last week, they made mistakes, so maybe they're a little scared of that commentator's curse. It was running rampant last week here for these poor drivers, so we were hoping to leave that in South Africa in a commentator's booth over there, and hopefully we're good for the season here now. So let's see what happens here. It's still continuing to get faster and faster here as we're coming through, grabbing some more time, so they're definitely starting to lock it in and hook the car up. Maybe the setup's starting to come into the driver here. We still got 8 minutes, a little over 8 minutes remaining here in qualifying, so let's let the TV crew take over from here. Alright, how we doing over there in IRL land? Oh, an IRL land is popping off. I'm slacking here. Sounds great, Nacho. Warm those tires up. I'm not sure 100% what the weather conditions are. I couldn't actually tell you. It's just variant. Get out the pits. What's a typical camber setup for this track? I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm just a commentator. I'm just a commentator. I'm not sure, Jonathan, brother. Peoples for P1. Hey, go get some, brother. Go get some. All right. We're definitely having some chatful pause here today. All right, that's right. We got this. We got this. What up, says Magic? We got sub says hi, Peoples. Welcome in, guys. So our pole sitter here, not sure what happened to him. Beefy here in 6th place. Let's keep searching. Oh, we had a driver. All right, let's sit on with this driver here, I believe. I'm not sure if this driver was in last week or not. I don't think he was. So let's stick with this driver here as he come around. We're seeing a little more variety of cars this week as well on the racetrack for round 2 here compared to round 1. It was quite a BMW heavy race last time around. So I'm not sure if the drivers have the option to continue to switch cars, if they have to pick one, or if they have a certain amount of switches. I'm not sure what exactly on the finer details of what's going on behind the scenes here, but no, commentator will poke his nose around here a little bit. We'll get some of that information for everybody eventually. Alright, we're going to try refreshing the chat here. And we're just going to try and keep rocking and rolling with it here. We're definitely keeping our eye over on the IRL YouTubes. You guys are popping off over there. We appreciate everybody. If you're not subbed over on the IRL YouTube, if you wouldn't mind, hit that sub button. Show us some love. Good evening. How you doing, Jason? See, I'm not getting updated comments. I knew it. All right, a little under 6 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Cletus currently sitting in 7th place here. He's in that BMW, and he's just coming around to the start-finish line here. Let's see what he puts in. Best is a 2:08.4. It looks like that puts him up into 7th place, or I think it was a slight improvement. We got Call Me CJ coming through here. He's not going to quite... Ooh, blue flag coming. We're in qualifying here, chap. Relax. This guy is ready for the race. That flagman at the start-finish line. He is definitely ready for the... Whoa, we got a Ferrari facing the wrong direction there. And boy, that was a close call. As that BMW comes around the corner, we got Little Mac here in BMW as well. Tango 2, he's in a BMW, and the game is favoring the BMWs here currently right now today. Jason coming in with that share, and the reaction on the stream as well. We appreciate that extra level of support with that share, and also I thank everybody with the likes and the shares over there on the YouTube channels as well, as we don't seem to get those notifications. Alright, so Ram down to 12th. He was in 10th there last time we were over on this driver, and losing a couple positions here in qualifying. He's still got 4.5 minutes, so he's got a couple of laps here yet, as they're just slightly over 2 minutes around the circuit here. It is 20 corners here, the Circuit of America, ladies and gentlemen. It's left and right hand turns. Of course, you can see it's a tarmac surface. It is an original a world circuit, and yeah, I can't remember how long, 5.3 miles, I believe, something like that. Just under 7.5 kilometers, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's just off the top of my head. We can get that finer information here at some point throughout the broadcast, I'm sure. But for the time being, we're just chilling. All right, so make it rain here in P16. We got High Peoples in 25th. He hasn't put a lap in yet. Too high for this in 22nd. We've got Norse Vet in 14th. So about mid-pack there for him right now. Fluka up in 4th place here right now. And we got 3.5 minutes remaining in qualifying. So about 2 more laps here for these drivers just crossing the line right now. That was SR Bossa right there. He's up in P10 currently. Bloxham still sitting in P5 with that NSX here right now. Let's stick with him here for a minute as he's coming through that very difficult early middle sector here at COTA. So the clouds growing. They look like they're getting a little grayer. They look like they're getting a little thicker. Maybe perhaps we'll see some moisture here. It is a 60-minute endurance race, our feature race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a mandatory 1 pit stop for fuel here tonight. So the drivers will have to make 1 mandatory fuel pit stop. Now that means they can take 1 liter of fuel, and that will count, as there's no designated amount of fuel they are required to take. So they can pit on the last lap, take a splash and dash and go if that's what they choose. Hour-long endurance is going to see a different style of strategies from these drivers here. We might see some 1-stops versus some no-stop strategies. It all depends on fuel management and tire management, depending on what each driver is going to do here. That, if I had to guess, that's going to be my assumption. It's really going to come down to each driver when they go to make that mandatory fuel stop. If they feel like they need to get those tires, then they do, of course, have that option to make that choice if that is what they choose to do. So blocks them here, just not being able to keep those laps right within the track limits. And from what I hear, little birdies around the racetrack tell me is the stewards here are very, very merciless. So we could be seeing a lot of potential drive-through penalties coming for track violation warnings here from our stewarding staff on track as well today. We got Roblox here in 18th as he's coming around. He's in that Honda NSX as well. He's getting away with that green flag, 147. He's got enough time to get this final lap in here. We got Irish Jerry in 23rd. We got Mr. Scoot here. He's in 19th. We don't know too much about this driver. I don't think he was in last week's round race either. He is in that Mercedes AMG here. So spicy car this car is. Lots of torque underneath the back end of this Mercedes car. Not too many people drive it because it's a little bit of a handful, but that doesn't mean everybody doesn't want to drive it. So nice seeing a Mercedes here on the track today as well. Got that beautiful Lamborghini out on track as well, just dark and mysterious, ready to roar on the Circuit of America track here in Austin, Texas. Captain Noah in 16th, got that bright green Audi. Big fan of that color personally, just saying. Johnny B in pit lane, hide behind those green cars. We got JP, our pole sitter, in that blue and black Porsche, yellow rims. Pretty easy to spot that driver on the racetrack. Still holding pole position, and I'm not sure what that gap is exactly, but he's not going to have an opportunity to improve it this time as he's on a red lap here. So this is kind of a little bit of a look here. Is it going to let us peek? No, it's not going to let us peek. Alright, that's unfortunate, but a little bit of our secondary cockpit look here. So mounted to the roll cages, that camera there, and then right back out to our TV crew here. Guys are doing a pretty good job over in that production truck here today, gotta say. So there we go, still got the green flag waving, just squeaking underneath the wire here. He's gonna have 8 seconds left on the clock, so he may have just another time to try and send one more lap around the racetrack here. We'll see what he opts to do. Yeah, he's got time to send it. They got 3 minutes here, so hit the wrong button, chat. My bad. Beefy here in 7th. We've got Viper 19th. Nacho in 17th. We got Cletus in 8th, and he's not going to make the timer here. This is going to be a checkered flag when he comes through. Call me CJ down into P14, or up into P14 here. Sorry, pardon me. We got Awesome Paulie sitting P3 in that BMW, looking really strong here around COTA today. We got Racer 14 in 22nd. Little Mac, he's on a flyer here still. Let's stick with Little Mac as he comes around and currently sitting in P11 here right now. We see High People's getting the checkered flag. Viper getting the checkered flag. 13th is going to be the best he can get. Doesn't mean he still can't lose some spots there yet with drivers that are still currently running hot laps on the racetrack. Got Ram 317, same for him. It's going to be a 14th or worse for that driver here. Oh, we're going to get that red lap, and he's going to call it right there. So Little Max is going to pull it off the track. And, oh, we have one driver out here. We've got Norris Vet here in 16th. I believe that was High People's in the McLaren out there as well. So, here we go. Norris Vet in 16th. Let's stick with him as he comes around here. And I should quit saying names because they keep claiming to make mistakes here. He is on a lap here. So, let's see what he's got as he's coming around the final corner. It's going to be a checkered flag when he comes around this time around here as well. So, looks like it's going to be not an improvement there. As you can see him swinging side to side, maybe a little bit of disgust coming from that driver. They won't let me off him. Alright. There we go. So, qualifying is over, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look as JP on pole position. 0.6 of a second ahead of Johnny B. Johnny B's got a couple seconds on Awesome Paulie, and then boy, the grid is close. 2.3 is Fluka. 0.2 of a second behind him is Darmel. Less than 3/100ths is Bloxham. Less than 7/100ths is Beefy J in 7th. Cletus is 4/100ths and behind in 8th. We got Adrena is that's like 2/1000ths of a second and behind in 9th with the Lamborghini. Got Tango is just a hair under a tenth in behind in 10th. Little Mac a tenth behind there. Boss is only a tenth behind, and a half a tenth, less than a half a tenth, tenth, 2 tenths. And then the gap gets just a little bit bigger at the end here. So 25 cars on the grid, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, we're in for one tonight. So timer's going to run out. We're going to see the cars hop on the racetrack. You're going to see all the cars start popping on to the starting grid. So what we're going to see, just so we're not all surprised and wondering what is going on here, Assetto Corsa Competizione is quite different from the GT7 platform we're used to seeing here at GT45 Gaming. The drivers are going to go on the grid. We're going to see a timer countdown. I believe it's from 3 minutes. At the end of that 3 minutes, we're going to see all the drivers take off roughly in sequence, and they're going to take a slow lap, single file, roughly about 3/4 of the way around Circuit of the Americas here. That gives them a chance to warm up their tires, warm up brakes, and get the car ready to start the race. Once they return back around that pace car lap to start the race and come back towards that start finish line at the end of turn 20, that is when it will be official green flag racing here for 1 hour at Circuit of the Americas. Hey, what's up, Tattooed? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you stopping in, my guy. Again, one mandatory pit stop, and fuel is required on this pit stop. There isn't a required amount of fuel. 1 liter will suffice, but it has to be fuel nonetheless. Double comms, ACC, let's go, says Jake. It's been a spicy day here in the comms booth, that is for sure, and this is a juicy grid. It's a big one, chat. So, ideally, we want to end up on, let's say, we got 25 drivers. Let's sit on board with Call Me CJ. And when this race starts, we'll be following Call Me CJ around on that outlap. And we're going to start this race right in the middle of the pack and try to catch all the A, amazing action at the beginning of the race, or B, chaos at the beginning of the race, or maybe a little bit of both. But 25 cars line up here for round 2 at Circuit of the Americas. This is the America's GT3 Challenge here at Infinite Racing League. Settle in. It's going to be good. You want to know more about this league? We can pin you a comment in the YouTube. If you go at IRL Sim Racing on YouTube, it'll take you directly to their YouTube channel. And hit that sub button. Send me a comment below, and we can get you a Discord link through IRL after the race for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it going. PS5 edition. We got 2 minutes and 21 seconds before we launch this 1 hour endurance race off into the sunset. I think. It's cloudy. We're assuming. Alright, we're going to do one final quick little metric check. Make sure everything is a bumping and a jumping. Everything's looking pretty good as far as everything goes on both sides. IRL is absolutely, that house is on fire. That section of the grandstands is popping. You can see full stands here. And what we're seeing with a little bit of glitching here right now is we got the drivers just setting their tunes into their cars, double checking, maybe setting them again just to make sure the tunes are there. And at that timer's end, it is go time. So hopefully these drivers have gotten those tunes implemented into their car and on the grid before the timer runs out, or a couple things happen. One, you start from pit lane, and that's a 30-second wait after the race start. That one hurts. Or you go in with not your setup and some really cold racing tires, and well, you're kind of up against what you're up against, and you just got to take it as it comes. So you definitely don't want to miss that window of getting that tune set up into the car. Now remember, this is virtual racing, ladies and gentlemen, so of course we do have a little bit of fun features in that sense. When it comes to setting up our race cars, we kind of got it at our fingertips in a sense, but doesn't change the difficulty factor here with 25 GT3 race cars on the grid. We got Porsches, we got Audis, we got Ferraris, we got BMWs, we got Lexus, we got Mercedes, we got NSX, we got Aston Martin. I think I covered them all, and a Lamborghini. It's going to be interesting. All right, chat. As soon as we get the button to get on track, we are going to jump on track. We're just waiting for the magic button. Hey, and there's the magic button. All right. What do we think, chat? Round one, they survived the first sector of the racetrack pretty well. Had a couple of little incidents in the back part of the race at that point, but nothing to really stop the race or prevent the race from continuing on. Oh, and there it is. Look at that. We all knew that was going to happen, right? Oh, isn't life grand? I reset right before I started the stream, too. That's really unfortunate. That could be a server crash, or, I don't know. I just did something wrong. I have no idea. Fan of Nor and Luke. Server crashed. Okay. Alright, so they're going to take a minute to set the server up, guys. We may see another qualifying run. I'm not sure what their process is for that, but just bear with here. We're just getting everything back set up. Give them a minute to get that lobby back up and running. Again, virtual racing, ladies and gentlemen. We are at mercy of technology. We're at mercy of technology with these events. So, server's saying, yeah, we're going to tease everybody and then we're going to take it away. So, they'll get that all set back up and then we'll get right back at it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll definitely get kicking. We'll definitely get kicking. Oof. Facts. It happens. It happens. That's why the great staff over at the Infinite Racing League, of course, always has the procedures in place for just that type of thing, ladies and gentlemen. So, patience is only but a virtue, right? That's what they say anyways. So, what do we think about the big hype sauce coming into the stream tonight? How do you guys think about that intro? That was some heavy stuff right there, hey? Doesn't that get the blood flowing? Let me know. Let me know. Feedback is always fantastic. We're just keeping in the know here, chat. We're just keeping in the know. It does look like we are going to be doing a new qualifying session based off of chatter I'm seeing, but that's not confirmed yet. Again, this is just chatter we're hearing over the race control radios right now, ladies and gentlemen. No, Stefano. Oh, no. It is all good, ladies and gentlemen. It is all good. Let's see if we've got us a beautiful server here. So, we do have us a beautiful server here, ladies and gentlemen, so just bear with me here as I put in the secret boop 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 VIP code. Oh, and apparently I got absolutely smashed in the face saying that is the wrong code. That's my fault. Epic fail. Epic fail. Alright. Clickety clack, clackety click, 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 click. Oh my. Nope, might not be up yet, chat. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time when we need some elevator music. Do. No, I'm kidding. I'm just trying to keep everything light and right. Pardon me. Alright, so. The drivers are getting a little spicy here. Alright, appreciate you, Darmil. Come on, you know you love my special password. Alright, we're in chat.
Green light, go, go, go.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little sneezing fit there. We had to mute the mic for a second. Oh, that one brought tears to my eyes. All right. No lobby crash. We just had to reset the lobby. So what's going to happen here, ladies and gentlemen, is right now the drivers have a 3-minute free practice. That's basically enough time to get their tune set back up in their race cars. We're going to run a 10-minute qualifier here, and then it's going to kick back off into the race. So a little bit of a delay and a little bit of a kink in the works, but that's just the way it works, and that is the procedure. So unfortunately for our pole sitter JP, he's going to need a repeat performance here over the next 10 minutes to get that pole position back here. So going to be a little bit of frustration on the behalf of some drivers and not so much on the behalf of some of the others, but it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's not much we can do about it. Again, we are at the mercy of our technology and our internet, so it happens. That's why there's procedures in place. We move on. Race continues on. New qualifying session, 10 minutes. It'll be starting here shortly. My battery... Sorry, I'm still getting over that fit there a little bit here. I'm going to shrink that up just a little bit for you guys so you guys can see that timer a little bit better. I just got to find it. There it is. Nathan coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, brother? All right. How we doing, everybody? We're still holding in there. We're hanging in there. That was a good time to go refresh those refreshments just in case you were getting a little low and still feeling a little thirsty, you know. All right. I'm still choking on my own air apparently here. Agreed. Hopefully these platforms become more stable over time. I agree, John. It's just a combination of big grids and different internet connections and yeah, you know, latency and pings and all that all that smart person talk that I don't quite fully understand but kind of understand. Yeah, all that fun stuff. All right, so we got about 20 seconds. We'll have a little delay. We'll have qualifying. We'll have a little delay. We'll set the cars back up on the grid, and we'll finally get this thing going on here. So, commentator ordered a coffee from our lovely, beautiful volunteer here, asking if we need anything in the booth. So, some hot goods coming shortly here for your commentator. Hopefully, he can get his throat under control here. Alright, 2.5 minutes, chat. 2.5 minutes. We kick qualifying off again. 10 minutes is only to give these drivers, the drivers that get out early, maybe 4 laps. The rest of them 3. And if the driver gets out late, maybe 2 or 1. So it's going to be a quick qualifying this time. Again, JP was our pole sitter last time around. Some of these drivers that had some really good qualifying in that first 20-minute session, they really need to lock it in, dial it back in, get over the frustration of having to do it all again. and just repeat the performance or better. So for some drivers, it's a second chance at romance, and for some drivers, it's just proof that they got what it takes to put themselves right back in there. So we'll have to see how it all happens. Oh wow, that was quick. Boom, qualifying. Boom, we're on. Alright, let's see if we can find our pole sitter from the first qualifying session here. Eventually, it's going to put us on there. Eventually. There we go. Alright, so our pole sitter, the first qualifying session was JP. BMW is just going to send it out wide there to avoid any contact. Get himself back on in a safer manner here. So guy's doing a much better job at spreading out earlier here in qualifying. Again, half the time limit, so the guys only have 1 or 2 opportunities really to lock one in here. So qualifying setups are back in these cars, and these drivers are right back on it. So again, huge credit to those crews, those mechanics, the crews, everybody behind pit wall, getting those setups back into these cars for qualifying. That was a great job there, getting those qualifying tires back on. So some of these tires maybe have some nice scrubby in tires. Some drivers maybe got some worn out qualifying tires that didn't have such good qualifying. It's going to be interesting to see how that changes out the qualifying order as we come through here too. You can see guys trying to give way to other drivers that might have made a mistake, maybe picked up a penalty, a track limit, just letting all the other drivers get through. So big cluster of cars coming through that final set of S's there as well. So it's about to get spicy. Alright, Porsche leading the charge here. Let's see what he's got. Currently has him sitting 4th right now, but none of these guys have times in. This is our out lap. They're just getting close to the point where they're going to be nearing that final 20th corner of the racetrack. And you can see JP is just going to swoop right on in the inside here of that Aston Martin. He's going to be like, excuse me, I would like that clean air out in front. You can see the size difference in the width between those 2 cars, the Porsche and that Aston Martin as well. But that Aston Martin's a little rocket ship. So it's a almost there. Yeah, they really get hard on the brakes there, just about getting into the back end of the Porsche driver there. So not going to be ideal for setting up this first hot lap for the Aston Martin driver here, but JP's coming around, so we're going to stick with JP here as the drivers go around. We'll see where he settles in after his lap. So this is official hot lap here from our pole sitter from the first qualifying run, and we're going to move with this driver here through this lap, and then we're going to do what we do. We're going to let the cameras take us where the cameras take us, and we're going to just see where the action ends up taking us here tonight. But it is that yellow rim Porsche starting up the road here. I don't remember what the qualifying time, I believe it was a 2:06, maybe even a 2:05 from this driver around the track here in the first qualifying session. So we'll see if we can get that locked in right away here in this second qualifying session as well. So again, having a technical error and having a reset, and drivers back on track here. We got all drivers accounted for as well. So wow, that is 25 racing teams getting those cars in qualifying setup condition here in a very short amount of time. So kudos. Oh, maybe one. We're one shy. We're one short. That Aston Martin still just trailing that Porsche. Those Aston Martins, I know in the PC version of ACC, those Aston Martins are they're little rocket ships. So definitely a big beast on the big runs. So but as we've seen, that Porsche is much more nimble in the corners compared to the Aston Martin. There's the Aston Martin really had to bail out of getting in the backside of JP there. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the 2 times manage out now, because the Aston, of course, bottling up that final corner too as well, which is going to slow that exit speed down, which means that next lap time is going to be easily 2, 3, maybe 4 tenths of a second slower, just due to that extra speed missing from the exit of the final corner, which we just seen JP come through here right now. So I believe The Aston's just in behind him there, so currently right now that's going to be a 207.1, so not too far off of where I believe he was on his first time around here, so still good enough for pole here. Currently we got a red lap there. Let's see what this driver has here, currently sitting in 9th, but he hasn't come put an official hot lap time in yet. One of our Porsche cars here on track again as well, ladies and gentlemen. We got 4.5 minutes remaining here in qualifying, so big sweeping sets of corners. Here's a lot of throttle and control, smoothness and rhythm, a lot of left and right, keeping the body from rolling too much here, keeping that car nice and stable, keeping the grip factor as 100% as you can to the asphalt, especially as these tires start to grow into optimal range. It's all about the flow of the racetrack. If you really start to get the car into the rhythm of the racetrack, you really start to find some time around Circuit of the America here. So we're just kind of checking on things here as these guys come through. We got Nacho coming through, looking like it's good to stay at a 2:10.5 currently. There we go. Oh, we got Darmel's dropped down all the way to 16th there, so that bad exit on that first lap really hurting that driver here. Let's go with Norris Vet here as he's coming around for his second lap, it looks like. 2:09.8 last time around, so not too terrible here. It's about 2.5 seconds off our current pole sitter, as was when we were sitting on him, JP. So trying to repeat the performance as JP, and we'll see how the grid settles out in comparison. I was super close by the end of qualifying in that second run, so hopefully the muscle memory is still in these drivers here as they're coming around. And we're going to stick with the Ferrari driver here in 17th, see if he can improve. Right now he's down half a second, so definitely needs to make up some time coming through the S's here, the sidewinders. Alright, so 13th drop and grabbing 4 positions there with that lap. Oh, and then he's going to lose it going into turn 1. Oh, he's just going to get out of the way of the guys coming around there. So grabbing some positions, but making a mistake coming into the corner there. And unfortunate there for Vet. He's going to drop a position there now too. We got white flag coming out. Flag for the, I'm assuming for the drivers to hold their line. We've got Bloxham. He's up in P3 here currently right now, so a couple spots higher up than he was after the first qualifying run. We've got Irish Jerry coming through, who's going to stay in 19th. We've got Adrena currently sitting in 9th. We've got Mr. Scoot in 18th. Roblox in 8th. That's relatively about where he was last time. We got Johnny B sitting in 2nd. Potentially, I think that's where he was last after the first qualifying run as well. We got Captain Nor in 10th. Tango 2 in 4th currently right now. Little Mac up into P5, so he's enjoying the second run here at the moment. Call me CJ in 6th. Cletus in 12th, so he's down 6 positions currently here. Awesome Paulie is in 7th. He was our P3 sitter. Ram 317, roughly about the same position here currently. Make It Rain, roughly about the same. High People's a little bit ahead. JP still sitting on pole in 207.15. Is still that best lap. He had a better lap last time around, but it must have been a track violation lap, so it didn't count, as his fastest lap still is a 207.150 here. So if the stewards determine that these drivers cut the track limits and it's warranted enough for a warning in racing conditions, it will nullify that qualifying lap, and when you come across the line, they will not count that time. So 206.4 as JP comes around that time, and that's definitely encroaching in on that time from the first qualifying session there from that driver. So a great lap there by JP. We got Viper here sitting in 12th place. He's in the Porsche as well as he's coming around. Let's see what he does as he comes across the start-finish line here. He's got a couple of cars coming in behind him. I believe one of them is Cletus. Let's see what he's got here. It's going to be AP12. His best right now is a 209.3. Who else we got coming through here? We got Darmel in that Aston Martin, currently sitting in 4th place right now in the second qualifier. And let's see what he's got as he comes around here. So we're definitely going to see a little jumble in the starting order, but again, qualifying and racing are two different things, especially when you put that many cars on the grid. So we're one driver down here after the restart, so we're down to 24 drivers, I believe. Nope, we meant to stay with JP. Stay with JP. Oh no, let's not stay with JP or Darmel. Darmel went to go talk to Barry R there. Let's see, Norris Vet back down into 17th here, so this could be his final lap here for him, and he's got another car very close there to the BMW driver, I believe. That actually might be Awesome Paulie in behind him, our second place driver. Oh, and Awesome Paulie moving up into P2 here. Johnny B in 4th. JP still holding that pole position here currently. So JP still flexing a little bit here from the first qualifying session and making sure that everybody realizes why he was on pole position the first time around as well. Hey, good run, Mac. Absolutely. We'll go through that order here in just a minute officially, ladies and gentlemen, once it's finished up here, once everybody gets across the line officially. 2 minutes for these drivers to complete the lap that they are on, and then they'll take that checkered flag, and it'll be it. We'll be setting back up for that rolling start here again, so that out lap, the pit lap with the virtual pace car out in front of our drivers, and then, of course, once they come back to the start-finish line, it's going to be game on here from Infinite Racing League. So, fingers crossed that we get going this time. We're gonna stay with Vet here as well. I would think that was wrong. I believe that's Cletus in behind him here, and we're seeing some of the similar glitching from the other lobby, but I think that's just a thing I've been seeing here in spectator mode as I've been working with the platform. So one car off out in the corner there. Let's see if he improves here. What is it? A 209.4 is his best lap. He is up. It's not a ton, but it's still an improvement. Oh, and he gave it all away at the start-finish line there. So, all right. Irish Jerry's coming around here. Let's see what Irish Jerry's got. 22nd right now in qualifying. I think he was a little bit... Oh, he's going to call it. Okay, we got Little Mac. Little Mac's going to pull it over. He didn't have enough time to get across the line there, I think is what that came down to. So, both them drivers calling it. So there we go. It is JP back on pole position here. Looks like he's still flying as well on a lap here, but yeah, they're not letting us go anywhere here. So back to the garage. Let's go take a look. So it is JP with a 206.4, 1.4 second gap over Paulie, and then from there it's a half a tenth over Roblox. It is 3/10 to Captain Nor now in 4th, Johnny B in 5th, Darmel in 6th, the Lamborghini driver Drenna in 7th. We got Bloxham in 8th, Tango 2 in 9th, Call Me CJ in 10th, Little Mac in 11th place with Fluka in 12th, Viper in 13th, Norse Vet in 14th, Cletus in 15th. Beefy in 16th, Ram 317 in 17th. We got Make It Rain in 18th, Nacho in 19th, Mr. Scoot in 20th, Too High for This in 21st, Irish Jerry in 22nd, High Peoples in 23rd, and SR Boss in 24th. So one driver short here now, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to jump on board. Oh, he's really not going to be happy with me about this. With our middle pack driver here. We're not going to say who it is. We're just gonna rock and roll. No, that's not what I said. All right. So, I'm not sure who we're waiting for here. We're still missing some checkered flags from several of the drivers, but they're all in pit lane, so they're just running the timer out. As soon as the timer runs out, you'll see checkered flags come across all those little green squares in the live timing section on the left-hand side of your screen, and then that will conclude qualifying officially. They'll line it back up on the grid, so it's about 5-minute ETA to warm-up lap before race start here, ladies and gentlemen, give or take plus or minus a few seconds, and then hopefully, the sim racing gods are on our side this time, and it's race time officially here at Infinite Racing League. Round 2, Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. It was a great first round at Kyalami in South Africa last week. We had 24 drivers take to the grid. In round 1, we got 24 drivers taken to the grid here in round 2. It's a lot of cars. It's a lot of action. It's a lot of fun. Good time to go and refresh those beverages, fill up those snacks, settle into your favorite spot, and get ready for a race, folks. So you can see the drivers getting tunes set up, all the cars bouncing up and down like that. That's the drivers getting those tunes up in the cars here. They're changing everything over, setting pit strategies, whatever the case may be. But they're up there with their crews, working hard, last minute adjustments, getting ready for race time. 3 minutes. T minus 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Little earbud there doesn't want to stay in place. All right. 24 cars on the grid. Porsches, Audis, BMWs, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Aston Martins, Lexus, Mercedes. A little bit of everything here on the track today, ladies and gentlemen. A McLaren. Anybody who wants Sebring and or F1 this weekend, don't tell me anything about Sebring yet. I'll get it like next weekend. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that 1 hour clock up top right hand side of your screen, just above the follow me little banner there. You can see the guys just getting those tunes set up for the final time. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. We get ourselves a race going here. Do have a 2 km/h wind coming across the nose of these race cars here currently at the start finish line. It looks like track conditions are going to go up to about 10% chance of rain. Track is 20 degrees Celsius. The temperature is 18 degrees Celsius outside. Here in Austin, Texas, cool day on that racetrack.
30 seconds.
I won't spoil it. Appreciate it. Thank you. The sooner they upload it to YouTube, the better.
20 seconds.
So, again, we're going to sit on board with our 12th place driver, Ferrari driver here, to start this thing off. We'll go through a nice little fun little warm-up lap, and then we're going to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. So, 12th place driver is going to set up on that 7th row. 6th row on the outside here. And there we go. Alright, so the leader's got off. Alright, he's crossed the finish line. We got 2nd place driver off the grid. We got the 3rd place driver, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Alright, rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. And look at that absolutely beautiful piece of machinery right there. That Ferrari 488 GT3 car is going to be loud and proud here at Circuit of the Americas today, driven by driver Fluka, number 18. Let's see how he handles it here today. So, what are we going to see? Why are they doing this? Well, this is just the way it works. In real life, ladies and gentlemen, the drivers are always taken around for a couple of circuit laps behind a pace car. Now, we don't have a pace car leading the way. It's a virtual pace car, so they have race control in their ears telling them when to line up and what to do. From that point, when we get about 2/3 of the way around the racetrack, you're going to see these drivers really start to tighten up, and before we get around that final corner, they're going to be called up to be 2 by 2 in their qualifying positions. And then once that checkered flag comes, they're going to get that green flag waved, and we are going to be racing for 1 hour here at Circuit of the Americas. Mandatory pit stop for fuel here this round. 1 time only. Johnny B, round 1 winner. Ram 317 on that podium. as well as, can't quite remember who our other driver was that finished last week. I don't have the standings sitting in front of me here right now. Alright, so the reason why we're not going to sit on the pole sitter is because, well, we want to try and catch as much of that first early action as we can here. And the mid-pack driver is usually the best way to catch it here on ACC. Just a little bit of commentator's experience here. So, unfortunately, we don't have that beautiful helicopter cam here today. Again, with all that cloud cover and crosswinds. Maybe not the safest thing for the helicopter crew to be doing today, so they get to hang out with our ground crews today and give us as many great angles as they can here around Circuit of the Americas. A little over 2 minutes a lap here for a 1 hour endurance. There's going to be a pit stop involved. We'll probably see approximately 28 or 29 racing laps here, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're getting close. Are you ready? I know I'm ready. I've been ready for a while, chat. We're going to start seeing these cars get the call to start to bunch up here. They're going to stay single file probably right up until we get about this final little hairpin 3 apex corner coming up just ahead here. And then they're going to get the call to start to buck up here a little bit closer. You're going to see the drivers start to tighten up. And then we're going to start seeing them line up 2 by 2. So I hope we're ready, folks, because we're about to finally go racing here tonight at Infinite Racing League. Again, massive love to Coach Dave Academy and everybody here behind the scenes, and of course all our drivers and crews on track here today. We are going racing. 24 cars line up here in round 2. Let's go. Oh yeah. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas, USA, Round 2 America GT3 Championship starts now. Kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go racing, chat. Okay, you can see them. Look at that beautiful sight. 12 rows of GT3 race cars, and they're coming. We're just a few seconds away from green flag racing. Keep your eye on the flag, man, on the right-hand side of the screen. Are we ready? Oh, we're waiting for the call. Green, we're green, we're green. Oh, we got one guy had to dive out there. Ooh, might see a penalty there already early on. Fluke is going to jump up and grab a quick spot. So let's stick with this driver. Look at this sight as we're coming into turn 1. Absolute bottleneck corner for 24 of these cars to come through. Oh, and we got one car turned around. We got contact in the midfield there. And 2 drivers very early on in trouble here. It looked like a Porsche driver there, and I'm not sure, it might have been one of the BMW drivers. We got a Ferrari going off in the run out. He's going to take the track warning penalty there instead of the risk of contact. We're going to see that happen here a few times, especially coming into this sector of this racetrack. It's only lap 1 here. We got 60 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, already the action has been cooking. We got Little Mac there and battling with the other Ferrari driver just up in behind himself. He's now moved up 1 position from 14th up into 13th, managing to find his way around that Ferrari driver. His next target, driver's up in front. Going to stick with this pack here just a little bit. And right now, under pressure here is our 11th place driver, Fluka, and he is under pressure from Little Mac and Viper. Little Mac now up in beside Viper. I believe he's got that position on him here. He does. He's tucked up in front. Little Mac going to grab another position. 2 positions off the race start here for Little Mac. He's now chasing down Fluka. Oh, and what a great start here to this race. Let's go see what's happening here. A little closer up towards the front of the pack if I can find it. All right, there we go. JP in the lead here as he's coming around. Let's see what's happening up front. We just got a nice patient train of cars coming through here to take ourselves around Circuit of the Americas here. First lap, smart race car driving from this front group. They settled themselves out very quickly and already immediately into their paces. So JP in first, Rob Lux in second, Awesome Polly in third, Captain Noor currently sitting in fourth right there as well, and I believe I can't quite tell who's in fifth there. All right, let's keep going. What else we have going on? Let's get back to that battle here. Viper dropping down to 16th here now. Irish Jerry got ahead of him. Mr. Scoot ahead, making Rain get ahead. So a little bit of a mistake here maybe made by Viper, as he's now on the rear bumper of that NSX. So Porsche versus NSX here as we're coming around the corner. And a great exit there by our Porsche drivers. We're coming to the end of the very first lap of the race here. And So far, so good, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of little incidents early on in the race there, but that'll be sorted out by, of course, race control. So there we go. Porsche is going to go up the inside coming into corner 1. He's going to get the job done on that Honda NSX, and that is going to be up into P15. Next target, Mercedes up in front. Nacho in 18th place here. Let's see what he's got going on in the back part of the field here early on in this race. So that Porsche already all full of damage on the front end, and the Porsche in behind him here. So maybe these two got into each other a little bit here. So two of our Porsche cars looking a little worse for wear here early on in the race. We got that Mercedes McLaren in 21st. He's getting a little bit of pressure from Norris Vet there, Team Ferrari in behind as well. So let's keep going. Beefy J here in 19th. That's the black Porsche that we just seen in behind Nacho there, and he has got pretty good significant damage on the front end of that Porsche, so it definitely looked like he got into one of the racing cars here. Darmel here in 22nd. We've got Irish Jerry in 17th, and he is battling right now, I believe, with a Lexus driver here. Who is it? Too high for this right now, battling with Irish Jerry. So this is 4th position, looking for 15th place here. It looks like he's got himself in it, so getting the job done there in that Lexus as he moves up a spot as well. So guys very quickly settling into racing conditions here today. That's what we love to see. We got Norris Vet here down into 20th place. Fluka up into P9, so he was in 11th there last time we checked, if I'm not mistaken. Starting to grab some positions there. He's right on the back end of that Lamborghini driver, Adrena, who's chasing the Honda driver, MX, up in 7th. So, ooh, look at that closing speed from the Ferrari there. But Lamborghini going to get a good, solid exit there. Here we go. Look at that. All these drivers fairly close to each other here still as we're coming around to start lap 3. And that's what, 9th place. So about top 10 drivers still in relatively decent distance from the race leader here. Anything can happen. It takes one bobble, one mistake, one little spin, and everything changes, especially early on in the race here. Little Max starting to put a little bit of pressure there on Tango 2 up in front of him as well. So lots of little battles starting to develop here. We got SR Boss at 12th place, and he's in no man's land right now, but not the worst place to be. He has clean air. He has no pressure, nothing to worry about. He can just put some laps in here currently. Blocks him here in that Honda NSX. He is in 7th, and he is trying to chase down Call Me CJ in the BMW up in front here. So let's jump on board with MX Blocks him here as he tries to chase down this group up in front of him here. So Call Me CJ, the BMW driver, up in front. He has Adrenaluke, the Lamborghini, and of course followed by Fluke and Ferrari driver in behind, and Review Mirror and a couple others off in the distance and behind them as well. So definitely lots to be aware of here on the racetrack very early on in this race today. But so far so good here at the official race start of round 2 here at the Circuit of the Americas, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely cannot complain about what we're seeing here so far on the racetrack. So in cockpit mode is Bloxham here, and he is slowly but surely gaining, it looks like, on Call Me CJ here. It's 1/10 of a second gap between him and Call Me CJ currently right now on the racetrack, and he is pretty up on his lap. 2:08.8 last time around, so that would have been the first fully official lap around the track at speed. Now the tires, the brakes, car setup should be starting to set into these cars slightly a little bit. The car will start to feel better and better as the race progresses here, and we'll start to see those lap times really most likely come down significantly here. But we'll sit on board here with Bloxham here just for a minute, kind of keep my eye on all these little dots. There's lots of dots really close to each other here, so there's definitely potential battles. But look at the closing speed from Bloxham in that Honda right there on that BMW. He just closed up a half-second gap just like that. We might see a battle here, so we're definitely going to try and continue to stay with this just for a little bit longer. And those cars up in front, that little pack of 3 there, starting to battle a little bit there too as well. So we're going to start seeing a little bit of congestion maybe up in front of Bloxham here, and he's just going to kind of back out of that. He's just like, you know what, still pretty early on in the race yet. I got good pace. Seems like the front of the pack has pretty decent pace. Hold on, let's just sit back and see what happens here over the next sector and see if anything funny happens. So a little bit of patience being shown here from MX Bloxham early on as he was really starting to put some pressure down. We got Irish Jerry here at 17th. Let's get on board with our Lamborghini driver here, Adrena, 8th place driver now. number 31 on the side of that car there, and the only Lamborghini in the field here today. So currently sitting 8th of 24, so top third of the grid here right now. But he is definitely starting to feel a little bit of heat from that red Ferrari in behind a Fluka. So Fluka looking like he's ready here in that Ferrari today. He has been looking solid all day long here so far. Let's stick with this here just a little bit. You can just see it's just a beautiful lineup of cars as we're coming through here. I mean, we're in our 8th and 9th place car. You can see that 10th place car just off in the distance of Tango 2 and behind these guys. And that black Lamborghini looking sleek and stylish. Definitely putting in some work here right now, sitting in 8th place. Not really gaining on Bloxham, but not really losing on Bloxham, but he's definitely got a mirror full of red Ferrari here currently. So Mercedes under fire here, Mr. Scoot and Viper. Looks like battling for the position. It looks like Mr. Scoot had just gotten around Viper, as in the timing grid there we have the time positions reversed currently. So Mr. Scoot should be sitting in 12th with Viper 0024 sitting in behind in 12th place, sorry. 13th place. I was right the first time. So the Mercedes showing a little bit of prowess here. Now, again, the only Mercedes in the grid here tonight too. So we're definitely seeing what cars are popular right now in the PS5 edition of ACC as a set of Corsa Competizione in comparison with the rest. So Mercedes definitely not one of those racer favorites here right now. Maybe in this particular group of drivers, but I have been told and seen that it is quite a difficult car to drive as well here in ACC. So lots of torque. It's a big car. It's a lot to handle. But that Porsche's doing a pretty good job at closing up the gap here. So Viper not really letting that Mercedes get away. Let's get back up to the front end of our pack here. We're going to jump on board with our first Audi driver here tonight so far in the race, and that's going to be Roblox. So really good looking livery on that race car too, by the way. But he is in second place, currently chasing JP. Now 5 seconds is that gap between him and JP in the Porsche up ahead, but he has some immediate pressure from Awesome Paulie and Captain Nor in behind. And Johnny B, oh, speaking of Awesome Paulie, he's going to exit stage left a little bit early on the throttle, got that car to break free, and he just went for a big time ride into the wall there. So Awesome Paulie exiting himself out of the podium there, unfortunately, and that is going to cost him a little bit here. He's probably going to have to go fix that car. It looked like he took some pretty heavy damage there, especially on the front left-hand side of that race car. Big hits there from the BMW driver, but Roblox still, he's sitting here in second place and suddenly has a little bit of a cushion in behind him. He looks up in the mirror and he sees a BMW missing, so he can breathe just for a minute here, but there is still a pack of cars in behind him. So it's going to be Captain Nor now moving up into P3, and that's going to be Johnny B moving up into P4, and Call Me CJ is going to take up in P5 there. And really unfortunate incident there for Cletus, I believe that was. Was that who it was? Don't remember now. Johnny B has him in third. He is currently sitting in fourth here right now. It's a train of Audis here chasing that Porsche. Now it's Porsche, Audi, 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 and then a BMW followed up with Call Me CJ. So let's see, Tango 2 here. Let's see where Tango 2 is at. He's starting to get hounded a little bit here by Awesome Paulie. That's who it was, unfortunately, who we just seen have an absolutely huge hit into the wall just a few laps ago there, and he is very quickly just losing pace to these drivers. So we might be seeing a pit stop coming very soon here from Awesome Paulie. Really unfortunate. It's going to mess with the strategy a little bit here for this driver, but they do have to stop for fuel at least one time. So an opportunity to get rid of that stop, fix some damage on the race car. Is going to cost you a little bit of time at the end of the day, but if you can keep it clean the rest of the way, you just never know what's going to happen. Call Me CJ here in fifth. Let's jump on board with this BMW driver here currently right now, and he's trying to chase Johnny B down, and Johnny B is just like, I'm out, I'm booking, I'm gone. Catch me if you can, boys. So BMW working hard here. That MX Bloxham in sixth place, just in behind here. He's just sitting there with that Honda, just trying to reel that driver in. Maybe he's just playing a patience game right now, just keeping everybody close. Who knows what's going through these drivers' minds right now here on the racetrack. We still have 48 minutes remaining, so 12 minutes has gone in the race here so far. We got blocks him in behind. He's starting to get some pressure from Adrena in the Lamborghini up in behind him as well. And that means Fluka isn't too far in behind here either. So Cletus here coming around, and he had a little, believe it, early track incident we've seen there as well. So Awesome Paulie dripping, in 10th place currently here. He is trying to catch back up to the driver in front. Ram 317, he must have been a part of maybe that early cluster at the beginning of the race there, and he seems a little far back at the pack here in 21st place currently. Make it rain here for the McLaren driving enthusiasts out there, sitting here in 14th. I believe that is the top McLaren driver in the field here right now. We have 2 of them currently on track. We have High Peoples here. There is the other McLaren driver in 20th, so I wasn't correct with that statement, but it is JP. Team Porsche leading the way here in round 2 of the America's GT3 Challenge. So presented again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in from the Infinite Racing League IRL, and I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, of course, partnered with Coach Dave Academy as well. So notable mention, fastest man on the racetrack right now is JP with, imagine that, a 207.150, the same time he qualified with. His first qualifying time in the second qualifier. His overall qualifying time was much quicker than that, but seeing some similarities from this driver. Consistency is key. Big gap, 7.6 seconds up the road. Let's get back to this battle with the Mercedes here, Viper and Mr. Scoot. So we're on board with our Porsche driver here now, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see if he can reel in that Mercedes. Mercedes looks like slowly but surely he's starting to gain just a little bit of a gap. A tenth here, maybe a half a tenth there. And just slowly but surely trying to put that white Porsche in the distance in that rearview mirror till eventually the pixels just disappear, ideally. But racing's racing. Anything can happen. Mercedes again, good power up these straights. But Porsche quite nimble through the technical sectors of any racetrack. So it's going to make up some time there, and you can see he's giving a little, taking a little, giving a little, taking a little here right now. Let's move through the field here. Let's get on with Nacho Gearbox as he's chasing down Irish Jerry here in the Honda NSX. So just in behind these 2 drivers here as he's coming around. Alright, it's pretty good stuff here today, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it looks like so far, knock on wood, that Mother Nature's been fairly cooperative, just putting an overcast sky in above these drivers here so far. We'll have to see what happens. And again, we're seeing patience, a lot of patience from the drivers here today. So some lessons learned from last week, perhaps. Maybe everybody just settled in now that, first race of the season, nerves and jitters are out of the way, and everybody's just kind of locked into, okay, it's race season, we got to get ready to go here. We got to, this is what our result was in round 1. Are we happy, yes or no? If we're happy, how do we repeat it? And if we're not, how do we make ourselves happy? So lots of work happening here from week to week now in between rounds. We got Too High for this here in 15th place. He's got pretty sizable gap here. He's about 2.5 seconds in behind Awesome Paulie. Awesome Paulie just losing spots here. After that hit into the wall, we got Norris Vet. He's in 22nd place. And the camera's definitely not shy on this driver here today. They like to put us on that driver. And as we say that, we puts us on the other Ferrari driver here, Fluka. But 4.3 seconds up the road from Bloxham here now. And he's got about 4-second gap on Tango 2 chasing in the BMW in behind him. So clean air advantage, but maybe not ideally where he'd like to be right now. SR Boss here in 9th place, and let's let our TV crews take back over here, ladies and gentlemen, as great shot of the BMW roaring down the straight there, and there we go. Woo, another Ferrari coming through here with SR Boss. So Bloxham here in 6th place. I believe he is the highest placed NSX right now currently in the field, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Ram is experiencing technical difficulties, unfortunately. Gotcha. We hate to hear that. We hate to hear it, chat. So, blocks him, 6th place. Haha, distracted. Alright, welcome back. Hey, I'm back. Hey, what's up, everybody? Alright. We've drank a lot of coffee today. Maybe my focus isn't quite where it needs to be. I'm not sure, but blocks him coming across the finish line there. His best lap so far is a 208.755, and that was actually his last time around here, so a privilege to see the best lap there by MX Blossom, at least while we're on board. Irish Jerry in 16th, and I gotta tell you that, we got Adrena here in 23rd, so making that pit stop here is Team Lamborghini driver, and it looks like the first of our drivers to officially clear that fuel stop here, so you see that yellow's gone. Right beside, on the right hand side of its name, you see the green little rectangle box there. That means his that driver's pit stop is clear and does not need to make that fuel stop now. This driver is good to go the rest of the race if that's what the Lamborghini driver opts to do. Mr. Scoot 876 here, number driver 876, of course, in the Mercedes here. He has lost that position to Viper, but gained a position due to pit stops. So driver number 37 having a drive-through penalty there, so super unfortunate for driver 37. Roblox still here in P2, and he has Captain Noor right tucked in behind him here now. So these two have been close together here for quite a while. Johnny B currently sitting here in 4th place, and he's just watching those two right now. That's Call Me CJ closing in here in 5th place at the BMW as well. Only 1.5 seconds is that gap. Captain Noor here in 3rd place. Now we're talking about our 2nd place driver. Let's talk about the green Audi here now. And Audi looking very strong here at Circuit of the Americas today. Brandon coming in with that thumbs up and that share. Appreciate that extra support and a welcome in. So Captain Noor cruising around here in Audi again, looking strong. 1st place driver is Porsche, but it goes Audi after the 1st place driver here, and then followed up by BMW. So it is Tango 2 here in 8th place, and again, this guy's just been chilling all on his own here pretty much all race long. Hasn't seen a whole lot of pressure. He's just been driving in some clean air here. Could really work out for him in the long run. Call Me CJ in 5th place here. You can see Bloxham just coming across the line as he's coming to start his race. It's a 2:08.1 is his best lap here so far. Cletus in 22nd, 2:10.1 being his fastest lap here so far, and a little bit off the pace here in 22nd place. We got Awesome Pauline having a great race, great qualifying run from this driver. He was having a great race start, and just a little throttle error broke the rear end of that BMW loose and took a pretty tough hit into the wall here in Circuit of the Americas, and he's just been kind of bleeding positions ever since there. So he now has pit and got that car repaired. As you can see, he has that green rectangle there as well. So hopefully he can start working on drive to recovery at this point. Ram 317 here, having some technical difficulties, not having the best of days here today, but still on track, still got the tires rolling in that BMW, and sitting here in 20th place. 12th place driver Team McLaren here. We got McLaren driver number 76 driver making it rain coming around here, and he's been having a good race here so far. He looked good in round 1, looks very good here in round 2. Just doing his thing right now. He's got some nice wide open clean racetrack to drive in, and 2:11.9, so just a little bit off the pace of those guys up front here currently. High Peoples here in 19th place. He's been having a pretty good solid race for himself here tonight as well. Just putting in those laps in that McLaren and finding himself some positions here as well. JP, our pole sitter from qualifying round 1, we had to reset. We had to do another qualifying run. He takes pole in qualifying 2, and he just hasn't looked back since. He takes off with the lead of this race, starts this thing on pole position, takes the whole shot, and he really hasn't looked back since. So what's that gap? 6.1, 12 seconds right now currently to the next positional driver, which is 2nd place driver in that Audi, Roblox. So JP looking very solid here in round 2, and here he goes around again and again and again. 10 laps down. Fastest man on the racetrack so far is JP with a 2:07.150. And Viper here now up into top 10 position here currently with another Porsche. So we're talking about Porsche right now. The camera crews are loving the Porsches here, so let's keep with it. All right, 10th place driver Viper, and I mean he's still got that Mercedes lingering there. The Mercedes is right there. He's in the mirror. He hasn't let that Porsche get away, but not really receiving any immediate pressure from Mr. Scoot in behind. So these two have been pretty close together for a large part of the race, but currently right now, Porsche driver out ahead of that battle of Mercedes. We got another Porsche. What can I say, chap? The camera crew's loving Porsche right now. Who is this? Nacho Gearbox here in 15th place. So I was looking at the wrong car, and he is chasing Darmel in that Aston Martin. So the only Aston Martin on the racetrack as well here from driver Darmel, currently sitting in 14th place. Now he's cleared his pit stop as well. So we're starting to see those pit stops starting to come into play here. I expected to see them about halfway through. Some guys are popping in just a smidge earlier than that. We got who we got? Darmel. Talk about our Aston Martin driver right now. Let's jump on with our Aston Martin driver, as he hasn't gotten a whole lot of love here yet today. And he is trying to hunt down Too High for this in that Lexus. The gap is 1.4 and dropping 1.3, 1.2. He is definitely closing in on that Lexus up ahead. So Team Lexus versus Team Aston here right now, and Aston Martin is definitely closing up the gap here. It's now under a second. We're within 8/10. So Slipstream is a little bit different here. Instead of Corsa Competition, to all my GT7 community, is a lot more realistic. There is not necessarily a 3/4 of a second gap you need to be within to get into Slipstream, and it doesn't pull you in quite as quickly as it would in GT7. But once you are secure in that Slipstream, boy oh boy, be ready for it, because then you have to worry about that dirty air and that overspeed coming into a braking zone. So you don't realize it's there, and all of a sudden it's there, and then before you know it, you're blowing past your braking point and going wide in the corners. So it is very difficult here on ACC to make those judgments going in and out, especially in these battles. But right now, Darmel doing a great job in the Aston Martin, and Lexus is doing a pretty good job of defending the position right now. So this is for 13th to 14th place, ladies and gentlemen. We have 24 cars on the grid here today in round 2 of Circuit of the Americas. So Aston Martin absolutely sending it here, and it looks like Lexus going into pit lane. So Aston was going to try and get the run there, but he is just going to get the free pass here from Too High for this. Too High is just going to be like, you know what, let's just not be any part of this. This is just going to slow us down. Let's just duck into pit lane here and let's make our stop. We got Peg in here. Team Ferrari. This Ferrari looking a little worse for wear here again today, but it's still on track and getting in its time here. Got Fluka in 7th place here as well with Team Ferrari here, and I feel like I got a setting turned on that I should shut off or something for this. I'm going to look into it after the stream. He's still chasing that Lamborghini Adrena, but Adrena currently is technically blue flag traffic, but it is also a pit stop driver who's cleared their pit stops. So we're starting to see a little bit of combination of blue flag traffic that's not really blue flag traffic yet. SR Boss here, another Ferrari driver. He's just in behind Fluka in a red Ferrari there as well. So SR Boss doing a pretty good job here. 10 seconds and 12 seconds though in between on both sides of that car. So he really just running his own race right there right now. Got Bloxham here, and he has Call Me CJ in that front group still in eyesight and in eye shot here in that Honda. So he's just keeping himself in a place to compete at the end of the race, ideally with Adrena and that Lamborghini just in behind. So doing a great job here is our NSX driver. Now, he had a pretty good race start last week too, and he made a really late move. Oh, we got an Audi spun around, caution flag in front of these drivers here, and that was for position. So Bloxman is going to move up into P5 there, and I believe that was Johnny B. We just seen spun around in front of Bloxham there, so great racing awareness by MX Bloxham there, staying away from that contact. And boy, oh boy, how quickly things change here in racing, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny B dropping down to 6th place there. Not sure what happened, just got that car sideways, and that is going to cost him some positions. And now he's got time to make up back up on the racetrack here again. So Lamborghini in 21st with Adrena here, but again, this driver has cleared a pit stop here. So we're going to see some cars getting mixed up as quote unquote blue flag traffic, but really they're not necessarily blue flag traffic yet, but they are. It's really confusing, but these drivers are pros. They know what's going on out there. They're listening to their team radios. Teams are listening to race control. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes here, ladies and gentlemen. So again, huge shout out to everybody behind the scenes that makes this happen. Can't do it without all the moving parts. So, Roblox just chilling here, man. 2nd place in the Audi. He's doing his thing, feeling his groove. trying to chase down that leader. 16.7 seconds now, that gap. JP giving himself a very comfortable cushion for when he decides to make his pit stop here for today. Johnny B, the driver we just seen, not having such a good day there, as he was spun completely wrong in the wrong direction, facing oncoming traffic there. But fortunately for him, keeping it out of the wall and not getting in any further contact. Oh, we got a Porsche. Looks like back marker getting out of the way there. I believe that was Nacho just getting out of the way of our 2 lead lap cars there. So great job by the Porsche driver there. Captain Noor, talk about the Audi. Another Audi here on track, the green Audi. And Audi's starting to show its power here a little bit on the PC5 version. They had a pretty good showing in round 1 at Kyalami in South Africa here. And last weekend, of course. And he's going to come in. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. And look at the hit that he takes coming in to pit lane. He locks that thing up, and it just slides into the nose of that wall. And now he's got a damaged race car to contend with coming into pit lane. That is unfortunate there for our 3rd place driver, Captain Noor. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. You can see those cars just getting serviced there in pit lane. So Cletus here in 18th place for BMW right now, and he has too high for this. In behind him, this is positional car as well, and there's only 1.1 seconds in behind these 2 drivers. So Lexus is trying to chase down the BMW. Now, this is the only Lexus on the racetrack here too, ladies and gentlemen. So a huge love to the Lexus driver, of course. But oh, that Audi, as I'm just seeing it again here on one of my stream dashboards. Oh, that was horrifying. Oh, I feel so bad for Captain. But it is what it is. That's racing, folks. Mistakes are can win and lose your races. And right now, that might have just cost him a podium finish here today. Awesome Paulie. We've seen him have a rough moment here too on the racetrack. He is definitely one of these contenders. And driver number 72 getting that stop and go penalty there. So that's our 2nd place driver before the pit window getting a stop and a drive-through penalty for speeding in pit lane. So again, mistakes. Got to keep them clean. You got to keep it clean. Got to keep it right. Rams coming through here. 15th, doing a pretty good job of starting to move his way, pick his way through the field after some technical difficulties here. I'm not sure if that's a equipment malfunction within that race car or what exactly that means, but slowly but surely starting to make his way back up. Oh, and just as we get the high peoples here, he is all kinds of out of sorts there, sideways on the racetrack, but he gets it all gathered up. Race leader, JP, still owes the pit stop here. And it doesn't look like he's in any big rush here. He's just chilling. 30 minutes into the race here, coming around turn 1. And we just got the halfway call from race control there. So JP just cruising down the road here. We got Viper now up into 9th place. This, again, sequences of pit stops are starting to happen here, but he owes one still. Nacho, clear, 20th place. Beefy, clear, 21st place. Darmel clear in P7. So Aston Martin driver here in a decent spot to maybe make up a couple of positions with some pit stop sequences, as the 3 drivers in front of him, Fluka, Mr. Scoot, and Make It Rain, all need to make a pit stop here yet. Now when that stop is, we don't know. We can only speculate and guess and assume at this point. But right now, too high for this in 18th. We're just trying to find some battles happening here on the racetrack. It's a little bit dry out there right now as far as fighting goes. So the driver's really settling in here. We got Norris Vet starting to shake down Ram here. What's that gap? 1.1 seconds right now, Ferrari, from that BMW. So he is definitely working hard at trying to reel that driver in. Ram still owing a pit stop here, however. Stop and go 30 seconds for speeding in pit lane. Oh, and it's all falling apart for all blocks here right now, ladies and gentlemen. We got Fluky coming out. He's in P11. We got Bloxham now up into 2nd place, but he still owes a pit stop here as well. Johnny B's back in 3rd now, and he still owes that pit stop here as well. Irish Jerry, he's up in 8th, still owes a pit stop. Adrena in 19th now, so as these drivers are starting to circulate through their pit stops, he's starting to pick up some of those positions back, almost back on the lead lap in a sense, compared to the live timing screen. we got Mr. Scoot, who's sitting in 4th place right now with that Mercedes. He still owes that pit stop as well, but definitely got himself in a very good position here right now on the racetrack. We got Roblox here in 10th place, and this driver has a stop and go 30-second penalty there, which will need to be taken, I believe, within 3 laps, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what the ruling is, ladies and gentlemen, from race control here. So, from bad to worse to just falling apart here for the Audi driver, but let's see how he handles it. Let's see what he can do, and he's going to get around the BMW driver that he was just chasing down there. I believe that's a back marker though. So Johnny B sitting in 3rd place here. He's just in behind MX Bloxham, and he has the Lamborghini driver on his tail. So the Lamborghini hot on the heels of getting that lead lap back. So as soon as JP makes that pit stop, you definitely know that Lamborghini is going to be hoping to get around there and get back on that lead lap and start making his way back through the field here. So early pit stops throwing some of these drivers out of sequence might not be the best day for them strategy wise, but I'll have to see how it works out positional wise at the end of the day. All right, Captain Noah here in 13th. This was our 3rd place driver, and this is the driver we've seen lock it up and go head first into pit lane there. So let's take a look here, see if the camera guys are going to give us a shot of the front end of that car there. It definitely looks a little beat up, but they got her all fixed up. All right, so 1 of 2 penalties cleared. Tango in 16th place here. Again, BMW driver here currently right now on the racetrack. We've got Call Me CJ here riding in 9th place. We've got Cletus here in 17th. Again, another BMW driver here right now, and just doing everything he can to get his paces in here. Awesome Paulie here in 11th. This driver was having a phenomenal day here. Made a little bit of a mistake, got that car into the wall, but still up in the top half of our pack here today right now. Currently has made that pit stop, so definitely potential to make some position up here as he's moving forward as well. He's got High People's 22nd driver up ahead here, so a blue flag car. You can see him just getting out of the way there. Ram 317 here in 13th, picking up another spot here along the way. He still has North Vet chasing in behind in that Ferrari, but again, still owing a pit stop here right now. So that's definitely going to cost him some positions. The bigger question is, how many positions is it going to cost him? We still have 25 minutes remaining here, ladies and gentlemen. So lots of racing left. We're going to see strategies come into play. We're going to start seeing drivers push. Everything comes down to the wire in about the last 15 minutes of these races. So we're getting to that point. About another 10 minutes, we're going to start potentially seeing some battles start to brew up here. We've got Make It Rain in 4th, owes a pit stop still. High People's owes a pit stop still. JP, our race leader, owing a pit stop still, and he's just putting cars in between him and the 2nd place driver here right now. So much so we don't even know where the 2nd place driver is in behind at this point currently. But JP is just cruising around this racetrack here in this Porsche. He has it figured out around Circuit of the Americas, it looks like here, ladies and gentlemen, as he has had a fantastic race thus far in round 2 of the America's GT3 Challenge here from Infinite Racing League. We got Viper in pit lane. Gonna see that cleared. It looks like we got Roblox coming in to clear that other stop and go penalty. We've got Nacho here in 20th place. Where else we have? We have Beefy here in the other Porsche in 21st. I believe that was the black Porsche we've seen got spun around on the early goings here in the race. So Darmel sitting in 5th place. Cleared his pit stop. Got a positional car in front of him with the McLaren of the 76 driver, Make It Rain. That driver owes a pit stop. So the big question at this point is, do you push, make up that time, get into the slipstream of that McLaren, maybe save a little bit of fuel while you're in the process, or do you at risk maybe a little bit of contact or an incident, or do you just keep a healthy, maybe say half, 3/4 second gap between yourself and that car, and hope that he doesn't wait till the last lap to pit and just get an easy free position? I guess that is going to be up to our number 420 driver, Darmel here in the Aston Martin. So Roblox clearing that 2nd stop and go penalty, and boy oh boy, it has just turned into absolutely disaster of a race for that driver currently as far as penalties goes here. Pit stop not really being his friend here so far. So, ooh, what are we seeing here? Blocks him in pit lane, so that's going to clear his pit stop. Or maybe this is a scheduled pit stop because he's already green. So, we'll have to see what that is. But Darmel going to come around. Is he going to grab that position from Bloxham here now as he comes through? Making it rain, looking to grab P3. He's going to grab P3. But the exit is around the corner here, and there's Bloxham coming out in that Honda just in behind Darmel. So Darmel's going to slot up into 4th place, and MX is going to come out in 5th. Too high for this in 19th place. We got 323 drive-through for track limits. We've got drive-through for track limits. 2 laps remaining. So we're not sure who that driver is. We'll keep an eye out for that. We've got Norris Vet here, currently sitting in 12th place. I believe it's called me CJ in the BMW there. Yep, drive-through penalty there beside his name. Fluka sitting in 8th place, so he's had a really good solid race here. Captain Nor now in 9th, so that accident going into pit lane definitely costing him here. SR Boss in 23rd position here currently. Bloxham coming out in 5th. Ooh, Irish Jerry here in P7, but another one of those drivers that owes that pit stop yet, so Fluka currently sitting in behind here in 8th place. Might be on fresher tires. We don't know what he did when he went into the pit stop. He might have just taken fuel and bounced. He might have taken a fresh set of tires. I'm not entirely sure, as I can't switch the information to really see what's going on underneath these cars right now currently. So we're just kind of just going with the flow here, Chad. Going with the flow, and we're gonna see. There we go. We're gonna see Irish. Oh, we're gonna see a cutback move from the Honda there, as Fluka went a little bit deep into the corner. It looked like Irish Jerry was letting him go through there, but ended up getting a good run on the old switcheroo there. And yeah, no, it looked like he was letting him through there. He's not trying to pass him there. He's just trying to tuck in behind him here. So he realizes that Fluka has pit and is probably a little bit quicker than he is. So instead of battling with him and costing himself time, he's just let him go. So some smart racing there, but the Ferrari making a little mistake going through the corner there, and the NSX actually got a really good run back on him. So looked like a battle returning there, but I think that was just the way it worked out there. So Adrena back up at the 18th here, and Johnny B still owes a pit stop. He's all the way down in up into 2nd place. So Adrena put the pressure on here, trying to get that lap back. We got the Mercedes driver here in 13th. Nothing immediate happening around him. We're seeing some pretty good space between our drivers right now. Half-second gap between, again, Adrena and Johnny B. And, I mean, Adrena has every right to battle for this position if Adrena chooses to here. Again, it's risk versus reward here. Do you risk taking out a lead lap car? Now, again, when this driver pits, you're going to get that lap back from that driver. So, technically, you're a lead lap car as well. So, it's tough thinking out there. It's tough being a race car driver. Let's just put it that way. Captain Nor here in 8th place, so grabbing a position now. So slowly but surely starting to grab positions up here. But again, was in 3rd place. That accident costing him. Drive-through is cleared by Call me CJ there in the BMW car. It's probably going to cost him some positions here. We got Tango 2 coming through here right now, and CJ just coming out of pit lane there. So where is he? He's just up ahead of this group there, I believe. He just tucked in behind Fluka. So we've got a nice little gaggle of cars developing here in the mid-pack. We might have a juicy battle happening here over the next 10 or 15 minutes for sure, as those guys start to close up. We got Cletus here at 15th. He's got Roblox all up in his business here right now. That Audi driver is hot underneath the collar of that car right now. He had to serve a drive-through stop-and-go penalty there for speeding in pit lane. So definitely not ideal for the driver that was sitting in 2nd place, having just a really good, clean, efficient, safe race, and making the vital error of speeding in pit lane. So you gotta keep it right. You just gotta keep it right, and that's all there is to it. Race Control has no remorse here, and a set of Corsa Competizione PS5 edition. So you don't want to suffer the wrath. You got to keep it on the track, and you got to keep it in between the curb lines, and that's just that simple. So and don't speed in pit lane. Obviously, one of the most important things. A 4th place driver making a rain. He's coming into pit lane here right now. Got High People's in pit lane here as well. JP still owes that pit stop. He's going to come around here. Let's see if he makes a stop now. He's got again, just a huge gap. I think it's about 30 seconds now from the remainder of the field up in behind him. So this driver has just absolutely been on a rail all night long. Not much else to say, but look at him go. Look at the clouds, so look at how dark it is. They're really starting to pick up outside here, so it's starting to get dark on the racetrack. We're starting to see the headlights come on in these cars. The track's starting to cool down, of course, with the cloud cover. That's just going to completely make the track a little bit slipperier. That's going to make the curves a little bit more riskier. Again, it's going to be a battle of risk versus reward. Right now, JP's just cruising. He doesn't need to do anything. He just needs to drive. Make sure he doesn't get caught up in any back-marking traffic. You can see him flashing his headlights there as he comes around. Just to try and give those drivers up the front warning that, hey, I'm coming, and be on the lookout. We got Viper here in 18th. We've got Nacho in 20th. Beefy in pit lane. Darmel now up into 3rd place, and I did say this driver is in a great position for potential podium here about midway point through the race when I see he had cleared that pit stop already and had a bunch of drivers up ahead of him that hadn't. So JP still owes that pit stop, and so does Johnny B. So there still may be position up for grabs there yet for Darmel. Too high for this in 19th. We've got Norris Vet in 10th place here right now, so doing a great job with that Ferrari. We still got cars that owe pit stops here yet, one being the leader, one being Irish Jerry. Most of the field has cleared that mandatory fuel stop here now, so side-by-side battle here between Awesome Paulie and Norris Vet, and I think, Awesome Paulie and JP, the leader there. Having a good little battle there. JP pulled out to go by there. Drive through for track limits for number 72. And oh boy, I gotta tell you, the Audi driver is just gone. It's just falling apart, chat. That team has just got to be absolutely just frustrated there in behind the box right now, as everything has all fallen apart here as we're getting down into nighttime at Circuit of the Americas. SR Boss here at 23rd. Blocks him here in 4th place. Once you got 2.9 second gap from Darmel in that Aston Martin, and Fluka, the next positional driver, is 23 seconds in behind. So looking pretty good there for Bloxham here currently. Irish Jerry up at the 7th, still owes that pit stop though. Adrena up at the 16th here, so slowly but surely that Lamborghini is just plucking away lap by lap, position by position here. He's just been settling in behind 2nd place driver Johnny B for quite some time now, and clearly has the pace to keep up as he hasn't lost it yet. So Mr. Scoot got that Mercedes up into P13. One more spot puts him in the top half of the grid here, but he's got 4 seconds if he wants that top half finish. Roblox, a number 72 driver here, and he's going to come in to serve yet another penalty. And oh boy, that driver just needs to gather it up, calm himself down. He's got 15 minutes left and just make what he can out of it. So here we go, Johnny B. He's going to take it around one more time here. He's still going down the road. Captain Nor here in 6th place. He's slowly but surely making his way towards that podium. Tango here in 12th. We're seeing guys slowly but surely close up, but not quite close enough really to stick with it yet. Call me CJ in 9th, making it rain, and McLaren just ahead in 8th there. That's a close battle. Let's stick with this here for a minute. Call me CJ and of course making it rain here, 8th and 9th place here. Battle for position again. It's getting darker and darker on the racetrack. You can see the lights getting brighter and brighter on these cars. And pretty simple little move there from Call Me CJ. Going to move himself up into 8th place and get himself a pass to make it rain in the McLaren. So pretty neat and tidy little pass there from Call Me CJ. We got Cletus here in 16th, and he's got Viper in the Porsche all over the back end of him here. And they are chasing that 15th place driver, pardon me. Adrena in the Lamborghini, who's just tucked in behind the 2nd place driver, Johnny B, right now. So a lot of blue flag being waved to, of course, probably that poor Lamborghini driver right now. But just chilling, just sitting in behind, doing his thing right now. But it is Cletus right now in 16th place, and he's trying to hold off Viper 0024 here. Cody B coming in with that thumbs up. How are we, Cody B? Fire. Fire, fire. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely great stuff here. We're cruising. All right, let's keep it rolling. It's getting dark out. Clouds are starting to thicken. Awesome Paulie here in 11th place. He's got his sights set on Norris Vet here. And you can see a little bit of damage on both those race cars. Both those race cars haven't had the best of days in a sense. But still up in the top half, back in the top half of this pack here right now. And looking to start up a nice little healthy battle with that Ferrari up in front of him. Oh, and the Ferrari got a little bit wrong in there coming into the second half of these S's here. So maybe a little bit of a gain for the BMW driver in behind from Awesome Paulie. Hey, and you can see those headlights are starting to shine a little bit further and a little bit further ahead of these drivers here as they're coming around the racetrack. We still got 12 minutes remaining as well, ladies and gentlemen. So lots of racing left to happen here yet. We're good, my dude. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend, brother. All right, so we got Ram coming out of pit lane. Pit stop cleared, 20th place. Make it rain in 9th. So Irish Jerry still owing a pit stop. Drive through for track limits for Darmel. Oh, it could not have come at a worse time for our Aston Martin driver, Darmel, our 3rd place driver, currently going to have to serve a drive-through penalty for track limits within the next 3 laps. So close to the end of the race. That is a big-time penalty, potentially game changer. JP has served that penalty, that pit stop requirement. Now currently sitting in 2nd. Johnny B still owes the pit stop. So we're working a little strategy to his favor to try and find himself a 2nd race win in a row here this season. Viper in 15th. Nothing quite really happening there. We got Nacho too high for this in Roblox. Not anything really initially happening there. Look at all these drivers coming into pit lane here. So Darmel, our 4th place driver, pardon me, as Bloxham has gotten around him here. So Bloxham has moved himself up into P3. But it's just, oh, we got Bloxham around sideways in front of him into the corner there. And, oh boy, that's not ideal for Bloxham there, but he's got it back up the road. He is still cruising. Oh my, yellow flag up ahead from the drivers in behind. Darmel back up into 3rd place, but again, he's got that drive-through penalty to serve. That's not enough distance to keep Bloxham in behind him to get through pit lane there. Let's see, who else do we got here? Who haven't we seen in a bit? We got Fluka now up into 5th place, and, well, this driver's in a pretty good position to pick up another position or two here potentially yet, as well as, again, Darmel's going to have to serve that drive-through penalty. The gap is only about 15 seconds. That might be enough to squeeze that position from Darmel here late in the race. So an hour-long track, I think you're only allowed 3 warnings before they give you that drive-through penalty here. So you really do need to keep it as right as you can. Bloxham here in 4th place, 2.8 seconds in behind Darmel, but again, he doesn't have anything to worry about. He knows podium position is going to be passed to him at some point here. Irish Jerry here in 15th, and that NSX, he has lost that. He's closing in on that Porsche Viper 0024. We have 1 lap for Darmel to serve that penalty, so he's going to have to bring it in this time around no matter what. Drenna here all the way up at the P13 with that Lamborghini. Again, the only Lamborghini in the field here. Talk about onlys in the field. We're with the Mercedes driver, the only Mercedes on track here, holding himself quite well. He's got that 12th place position up at the top half of the grid here himself as well tonight. And look how dark it is outside already. That absolutely just went from day to night in no time at all. We've got just under 9 minutes remaining. We got the yellow flag flashing up in front here. Not sure what that's about, but drivers do need to be wary. So we do have Roblox trying to get a position on too high for this here, and it's going to be a P17 for the Audi driver. This was our 2nd place driver, and he made his pit stop and clear his pit stop. Got a drive stop and go penalty for speeding in pit lane. He gets that cleared, and then he comes back out, picks up a track limit penalty, has to serve a drive through. So he is just trying to make up every position he can at this point. Johnny B now in 2nd place, so he would have given that 1st place position back to JP. He's now cleared his pit stop, Captain Nor is up into P6, but again, that accident heading in to clear his pit stop, crashing into pit wall on the way in, definitely costing him his podium chances here tonight, sitting there in P6 because of it. Tango 2 here in 10th place, and he is right on the back door of Awesome Paulie here. He's got Norris Vet just tucked in behind him, and a Mercedes closing in on this group. So let's stick with this group here just for a minute. Some beauty sparks flying from that aero package underneath these GT3 cars, and here we go, looking for the move. He's trying to get the run here, and he's just going to settle in behind Awesome Paulie there. Great attempt there by Tango 2. He's seen a mistake made by that driver in front. He really tried to capitalize on it by getting the absolute maximum he could out of that car on exit. He just wasn't quite enough to get the move done, but he definitely closed in on that BMW up front. You can see the damage on that BMW from Awesome Paulie as well, with that massive hit into the wall that he took a little bit earlier in the race, and under pressure here right now from several positional drivers. So this is one of those situations. You got to catch that driver. You got the pack bearing down on you. It's late in the race. Every position matters. Every second counts here right now. Oh, and he's going to hit those sausages. And you see what kind of ride that BMW just went for. That is going to be absolutely brutal on the suspension of that race car. Lucky he was able to keep it out from going sideways on him there. And he is very fortunate to still be in a fight for position here as well. So a mistake made there by Tango 2, and that was a fairly lengthy mistake made there, but still in the fight, so managed it well. And look at the run he's going to get. He is going to not quite get the job done here. We're coming across start-finish line to start lap 25 here now, and boy, what a battle we got brewing between our four drivers here right now. So this is for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th position. And here we go, coming into turn 1. Tango 2 sends it up the inside. He is going to get the job done, and that is going to be 8th place for Tango 2. That is going to put Awesome Paulie back into 9th, and he is under fire from Norris Vet and Mr. Scott now, or Mr. Scoot now. Oh, and there we go. Norris Vet exiting stage right there. He got a little unsettled coming through the S's, a little offline, and that just threw him off the curbing there. And that's going to put Mr. Scoot up into P10 now. So everything can happen. Anything can happen anytime. This is racing, ladies and gentlemen. Call me CJ here in 7th place. Cletus in 14th. Nothing really happening there. Awesome Paulie. We just seen a great battle happening between a few of those guys over there. Ram up into 20th. We got Make It Rain. He's come out in 18th. High People say, oh, we got a car spinning in the background there. I'm not sure who that was, but definitely a caution flag out on the track here currently. JP still in the lead, and it is a big one. Viper here, 13th. What do we got? Nacho. We're trying to find out which car that was. I got absolutely just sent sideways there. If I see it, I'll probably recognize it. I believe it might have been Bloxham here. And Fluka is going to get a drive-through penalty for track limits. So he's going to pick up a drive-through penalty with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Oh boy. The mistakes now starting to pile up on these drivers. The concentration is getting a little bit lackadaisical, so to speak. The drivers are getting tired. They're getting worn out. The focus maybe isn't 100% there as we're nearing the end of the race. They're making simple little mistakes, and for some of these drivers, it's costing. And it's costing them positions at very vital times of the race. We've got Roblox coming out 14th there, and that just may be just a driver facing just sheer defeat here today. Just things not quite really going his way. Johnny B in second. Captain Nor now up into P5 here, so absolutely working it with that drive-through from Darmel. That put him all the way down into P6, so from podium to P6 there for that driver in the Aston Martin. Really, really unfortunate. All right. Tango 2 here in 8th place. We've got Call Me CJ here in 7th. We've got Cletus 13th. We've got Awesome Paulie here in 18th. We've got Ram in 17th. And he is gaining on second place driver Johnny B. So Ram just looking like he's just a lap down here right now. Make It Rain in, I believe that's 20th. with the McLaren here, and he's all alone here currently right now. We got High Peoples, the other McLaren. He's currently all alone as well, but it is JP right now, the man of the hour. Man, everybody's been chasing the entire race. Johnny B stealing the lead from him for about 2 or 3 laps until he cleared his pit stop, and then went right back to JP. So just sheer dominance here right now from our Porsche driver JP, as we're getting very near the end of the race. Just under 3 minutes remaining. We got yellow flag out on the racetrack again. It's getting very dark out. The track's cooling down. That's going to make it very slippery. These cars that were set up for warmer conditions are going to start getting very tight. They're going to get very hard to get into the corners. But JP looks like he's got his car dialed in for the right race here today, as he's coming around here and looking very solid. Alright, we got Viper coming out of pit lane there. It's going to come out in 18th, just behind Irish Jerry and Captain Norris, so just getting put a lap down there as well. What else do we got? We got Fluka with a drive-through penalty there, still needs to be served. Nacho up into 15th place here, so slowly but surely some of these drivers are just making their way up through the field, just being cautious, consistent, not making too many mistakes. We got Darmel here, who is really set up for a great finish here today, and he just made a mistake. Too high for this in 14th place. He's all alone with that Lexus. We got Norris Vet here in 10th. He's starting to chase down SR Boss there in 21st. Fluka, 4th place driver. This driver still owes pit stop to track limitation violations, so he has no choice. He's going to have to take it this time around here, as the timer's not going to give him enough time to take it any other time. So we're going to be seeing him probably coming into pit lane this time to serve that penalty. SR Boss here at 21st. Blocks him here in 3rd place, and he has, 7-second gap currently on Fluka there in 4th place, but that gap is about to grow substantially here, as he's going to have to serve that drive-through penalty. Awesome Paulie picking up a drive-through penalty there as well, and right at the end of the race. Couldn't it come at a worse time? You want to serve that drive-through penalty. You don't want to have to take that into a race finish. The game is going to just heavily penalize that driver. We're going to see him drop probably a few positions because of that as well. Alright, so we're going to take this thing back to the garage here real shortly, ladies and gentlemen, so we have a little more control over our cameras. So the time is now here, ladies and gentlemen. As long as I keep hitting the wrong button, it's not going to happen, but here we go. Alright, so our race leader here is JP, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe he is going to be on the final lap this time around. We'll have to wait to see. I just don't want to miss it in case it is going to be the checkered flag as he comes through here. Drive-through cleared by driver number 18 there as well from race control. So Awesome Paulie still requiring to do a drive-through here. Don't think he's going to have time to do it. That's just a heartbreaker. He's got to put it in at the end of this lap to serve that penalty, and hope that they give him a little bit of slack there. So the gap, 43 seconds to the second place driver, Johnny B. And when you think about performances, we're definitely going to say that that was a dominant performance right there by JP, and he's going to bring it home in first place here today. So congratulations to JP. Johnny B, he's going to come back on the podium here. We didn't get a chance to talk to him last week, but we're definitely going to get the chance to talk to him here this week. But still got a little ways to go to get around this racetrack there. You can see the fireworks already going off as the leader has finished this race. So currently right now, unless anything dramatic happens, it's going to be Johnny B here in second, MX in third, Captain Nor in fourth, Darmel in fifth, Call Me CJ in sixth, Fluka in seventh. We do have Roblox in 12th, officially Cletus in 13th, Too High for This in 14th, Nacho in 15th. We got Johnny B coming through, P2 finish for Johnny B. Let's jump on board with Bloxham here as he comes around now. And it's going to be a third place finish here for our Acura NSX driver here. So Honda, sorry, not Acura, Honda NSX driver. And P3 finish, good race here for Bloxham. Captain Noor is going to fall just short of that podium here today with that Audi, but good recovery drive. Everything that he had to go through there near the end of the race, and he's still going to pull himself up into a P4 finish. So we've definitely seen worse things there. Darmel, after that late drive-through penalty, he's currently got himself up into P5 here right now. And not sure who he's chasing there. I think that's Austin Pauly up in front of him potentially. Oh, and he got the sausages. Oh, that was a rough one, chat. And it's going to be called me CJ here. And Darmel, oh, a little rough ride there. All right, Mr. Scoot coming around. Here we go. And it looked like he just let Tangle 2 go through there, so... oh, we got Fluka slow on the... oh boy, we got a 7th, we got an 8th, we got a 9th, and we got a 23rd coming through there. Whoo, that was spicy. Adrena coming through. He's going to top 10 for that Lamborghini, so... I got early pit stop strategy coming from our Lamborghini driver there, and he's just going to bring that thing home in 10th. That's going to leave it for Vet here in 11th, and he's not very happy with that Ferrari right now, let me tell you, as he piles that thing into the wall with disgust at the end of the race. You know, it's tough racing out there when you got 24 cars on the track, so... JP with the race win. Johnny B in second and blocks him here in third. Congratulations to the rest of our field. Captain Noor, call me CJ, Darmel in sixth, Fluka in seventh, Tango 2 at eighth, Mr. Scoot in ninth, Adrena in 10th, Miss Norse Vet in 11th, Roblox in 12th, Cletus in 13th, too high for this in 14th. We got Nacho Gearbox in 15th, Ram in 16th, Viper in 17th, Irish Jerry in 18th, Awesome Polly finishing 19th, SR Boss in 20th, Make It Rain in 21st, High Peoples in 22nd, Beefy in 23rd, RWB's Little Mac in 24th, and yeah, that's our grid. That's the grid. All right, let's take a couple screenshots here, just in case. Fastest lap belonging to JP there as well. So I mean, clean sweep for JP, pole position twice, a race win, and a fastest lap on the race here at Circuit of the Americas. So all I can say is GG to JP. Just about to shut that off too. Hey, what's up, Nick? How you doing, brother? All right, so we're gonna give our interviewees a few minutes here just to gather themselves after a long race to jump into the race interviews chat, and we'll have a little chat with whoever pops in. So. Alright, we're just trying to get back into the right Discord server here. We got lots going on. Lots going on. Alright. So, how was the race, ladies and gentlemen? How we enjoy the 1 hour endurance here at Circuit of the Americas? It was, well... I mean, it was an interesting race. What else can we say, right? So, I don't even know why I have it on this screen. We have this screen right here. Hey! Our podium finishing screen. I forgot all about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long day of broadcasting here. We were all the way over in Spa. Just a few hours ago, we had to jump on a Concorde jet and haul over to Texas here to get in the booth in time for this race here today. So your commentator, the boy in the booth, is a little bit tired, but doesn't take away the fact that we had some great racing there from our drivers, and again, some interesting racing. But it looks like Johnny B is going to be coming out of round 2 with a championship points lead here. Unofficially anyways, as it stands. Of course, he did win the race last weekend. So a second place finish here in round 2, and that just means good points all the way around for that driver right there. Again, strong finish from Johnny B. Pit strategy is everything. I did suspect we would see no stop strategies as far as tires went for the most part for the majority of these drivers, although I don't know much about how Circuit of the Americas wears, of course, on the tires on these GT3 race cars. Yo, what's up, Payme? F1 freak. Dang, that yellow NSX took out the Lambo. I don't know if that's what happened there. Is that what you saw? I didn't see that, but I've seen a lot of chaos happening there. And it was off in the distance, so that's why we have the stewarding process here, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. That's for them to, of course, deal with and take care of. So I guess we can get out of here now. We don't need to be in the lobby anymore. So we're going to exit the lobby. Alright. Rock and or rolling, you know what I mean? We're just going to make sure we're checking all the audios, make sure everything is good to go. Alright, let's go see if we got some podium finishers. We got, well, we got our third place finisher, so we can definitely start there. Alright. How are we doing today, Mr. MX Blocksome? It has been a while since we've chat, my friend, and today it's for round 2 of this amazing America's GT3 challenge that Infinite Racing League has going on here. So, pretty spicy race out there, tough one. Talk to us about it a little bit.
Wasn't feeling it today. I'm happy to come out of it with the podium. I just was not feeling the race today. This track just, I feel like I just ran 2 hours instead of 1.
So a very exhaustive race here. How's that Honda to handle around Circuit of the Americas here? Is it a handful?
A handful. I think that's an understatement. The car was crazy. I think strategy got me to third. I think it wasn't pace, that's for sure.
Well, and you know, we say it all the time here. Obviously, we do a lot of GT7 platform streaming as a broadcaster, but it doesn't really matter what you are racing or what sim it is you're racing on. At the end of the day, it's not necessarily wins that are going to win you a championship. It's going to be that consistency and just having strong race finishes. It didn't quite go your way last week in Africa. You just had a bit of a tough race, a couple of mistakes, but definitely did the best you could with not the best situation, but coming strong with a third place finish here today. So you know, you've got a good solid look at the field here now. We still have 6 weeks left in the season. Big grids, that makes a big difference. So I guess what's the key, especially at race start when you got 24 other drivers barreling down on top of you?
Be smooth. Just look forward. I mean, always race forward. Yes.
All right. Well, this is a gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, that seems very tired. He needs a good bottle of cold water and a little hype from his racing team there at in behind the scenes at the box. But good racing from you. You had some good battles there. We had a little bit of heartbreaking moments for a second, but you kept it together and brought it home for that bottom step here today. So congratulations on a great drive. And I guess really anything you want to add and any shout-outs you want to throw out there.
Shoot, just a shout out to IRL. You know, everybody involved, everybody that races. It's fun. You know, we put this on for them, and you know, we're racers ourselves. So this whole thing is racers for racers. It was fun. Very tiring, very draining. Track limits suck at this track. That's about all I got.
Absolutely, and you know, we've seen a lot of that at the end of the race. The penalties stacking up on some of the drivers, especially for those track limits nearing the end of the race. Thankfully, you weren't one of those drivers that had to pay the ultimate price there, and it didn't lose that podium due to just over pushing at the end of the race. But great drive from you. And how do we feel about next week's race?
Ooh, I don't even know where we're going next week. I forgot.
Me too. Let me look.
I haven't even looked. I was too focused on this one to even look to see what's next.
Nope, wrong schedule. Where are we? Round 3. It's looking like we're heading to. I can't read that 'cause it's too small. It looks like a Mola. So that should be an interesting race. A little spicy with a bunch of cars on the grid.
I like that track. I'm good with it.
All right. Well, as always, we always appreciate the drivers giving us some time right after a long, heated battle like that to come and talk to us. And we'll let you get back with the team and start getting ready for next week's battle.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for the broadcast, brother.
Hey, appreciate you. All right. Who else do we have up in the house with us here? Oh, there we go. We have Mr. Johnny B with us, our second place finisher. So no JP here currently right now, but we do have Johnny B with us. And unfortunately, we kind of we just skipped this poor driver last week in the driver interviews here. He just didn't know where to go, and we shut the broadcast down. And by then, it was a little too late. So we get a chance to talk to him here today. So we're going to double duty the interview here for Johnny B today, the Audi driver. He's looked very good early on in the season, coming home with the big race win last week. Let's start there. Let's talk about South Africa last week, coming in with a big race win. Let's talk about that real quick, how things went down for you, and what you think ultimately got you to win last weekend.
Last week, I just had really good pace. I think from the start to the finish, a couple guys in front of me in the Hondas, MX being one of them, they had more pace than me through practice, quali, and to the beginning of the race there. But I was able to keep it steady and, not bin it and cause myself any time. So, just try to stay consistent, mistake free, and, came away with it. Had a decent strategy and had to chase down Ram at the end there. And I wasn't so sure I'd be able to get around him, but thankfully I did. And it was a good race.
Wrong button. There we go. Absolutely, it was a good race, and then that leads us into today. So you have an absolutely heated battle right down to the wire in the first round of the season. It's just a short 8-week season, so not a lot of time to make up ground if you have that one bad race. So you come into today focused about the game. What was the game plan initially coming in today? And I guess, are you happy with the end result of how today went?
Oh, I'm very happy. Coming in, I felt really good about my pace until I saw what JDP was doing, and then I realized I had a lot of work to do. We had that quali mishap. I was, I believe, starting second at first, and then after that, I started fifth. And then, just got caught in traffic, and I got tangled up maybe 20, 30 minutes in, coming out of the final turn. Dropped back to, I think, sixth or seventh, but was lucky the strategy I picked worked out. The tires were absolutely roasted at the end. But the strategy got me back to where I needed to be. I was actually surprised to come out and find myself in second and have some space over MX of all people. Always very, very difficult to beat him. So when I managed to get a race where he finishes behind me, I'm always very happy.
Absolutely, and I can definitely attest to that. There's a lot of unfamiliar faces for me as a broadcaster here in this series right now, but there are some familiar faces, and one of those familiar faces is the third place finisher today, MX Bloxham. I've unfortunately been one of those drivers on track also trying to catch that driver, so we could definitely attest to the fact that he is definitely a pro level driver here in Assetto Corsa Competizione, ladies and gentlemen, and especially here at the Infinite Racing League. So always a plus when you beat a good quality race car driver on the racetrack. So you're heading into round 3. We were just talking about that. It's Imola next week. You're going in with a championship's point lead now with a first and second place finish here. What's your thought process now for the next couple of rounds?
Imola's a track I'm comfortable with. Pace is usually pretty good there. I don't know that I'll have the fastest pace. I would imagine I won't, but I'd like to see myself probably top 3 or 5, and then just try to run a clean race. That's what I try to do, and might not get a win, might not get a second, but as long as I finish up, on the podium near it, that's what I'm trying to do. Just be consistent and race my race. I might not be able to beat people on pace, but maybe I can do it with a combination of pace and strategy. So that's all I'm trying to do, but I'm excited about it, and so far, good season. I want to keep it going.
Absolutely, and I mean, definitely nothing to complain about. First place in an 80-minute run there at Kailami, and then a second place here in a 60-minute run this week, of course, at Circuit of the Americas, an absolutely great racetrack. Overall, thoughts on the race today? Have a lot of fun out there?
Oh, yeah, it was a good time. Exhausting. I mean, absolutely exhausting. And we were battling in traffic almost all day, with the exception of our winner. I think everybody was just tangled up in traffic. So it's time for a meal and about an 8-hour nap. But yeah, it was definitely a good one.
Absolutely, and I mean, got to get it in quick. So I mean, the next step is cars back on the haulers, back to the airport, back on the planes, and on their way back to the next track, all the way over the ocean again, ladies and gentlemen. And then just a short 6.5 days away, we're right back at it here again at Infinite Racing League and GT45 Gaming, letting these drivers do what they do best, and that's put on an absolutely amazing show for the viewers. Anything you want to add to your race here this evening that we haven't covered yet? And of course, any shout-outs and thank yous you'd like to throw out there?
Not really. Great time. Love racing in IRL. All the guys are awesome. It's always competitive. It's just an all-around good time. Great group of guys, great experience, and happy to be here. And gonna hopefully keep charging forward next week and see if we can't take this season down.
Absolutely, still a young season here, ladies and gentlemen, but spoken like a gentleman who's ready to fight for a championship here from Johnny B this week. So congratulations, 2 great race finishes back to back here for you, and yeah, definitely go back and celebrate with the team there. I'm sure there's lots to hoop and holler about. And of course, thank you for taking the time here with us today to give us a few moments and a few words.
No, not a problem. Thanks for having me. Greatly appreciate it. Good time, and great job to you as always as well. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, awesome. Appreciate that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it does look like we are missing JP. So, just might not be in the loop. We're not sure what's going on there, but this guy, I mean, what can we say? What can we say about JP? He was in that Porsche. You can't miss that Porsche on track. It's the one with the bright yellow rims, ladies and gentlemen. The blue and black Porsche. Qualifying 1, fastest guy in the track. They had to do the reset, had to redo the quali. Qualifying 2, puts his foot on it, says, that's all right, I could do it again. Qualifies pole again, and then he just takes off with this race, start to finish. No question of a doubt that JP was going to bring this thing home here today. Too clean, too crisp, too quick, and he brought that Porsche around for an absolutely incredible race finish here today. So, I mean, what else could you say? Just a dominant performance from JP, and I mean, Johnny B's coming in as championship points leader into round 3 at Imola next week, but watch out, because JP is one to be looking out for in the review mirror. So the championship standings are going to tighten up front. We'll get some standings up on the stream for everybody next weekend. And if I were JP, I would be pretty excited right now too, ladies and gentlemen. So huge love to our podium finishers. 3rd place is finisher MX Bloxham. 2nd place driver Johnny B. Bangin, and 1st place driver JPS Dub in that Porsche. Oh, did he make that look good today. Great action here. Appreciate everybody hanging out after the first delay of the race there. The track officials just want 100% make sure that the drivers are safe and have a good, clean, quality race for the viewers and for themselves. We want everybody to go home at the end of the night. That is the most important thing. So, again, thank you everybody for being here tonight on behalf of IRL Infinite Racing League. Of course, we appreciate everybody's patronage and viewage here tonight. If you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed to the pages yet, if you wouldn't mind doing so, it's free. That's right. I said free, chat. And let me tell you, not much is free in this world anymore. And that little push of that button does amazing things for us as an esports organization and a page. So if you're able to do that, fantastic. If not, we appreciate your support just by being here and hanging out with us. And I don't know what else to say, but absolutely great racing here for 60 minutes at Circuit of the Americas. 24-car deep grid, a little bit of everything on the track here tonight. And what I see here is the Americas Sunday GT Challenge heating up. Things are about to get spicy as we head across the ocean over to Italy for round 3 at Imola. Same time, same place next week here at IRL YouTube and GT45 Gaming. Thank you everybody for being here. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Stay winning. And remember folks, you all matter. We're going to send it out with some beats. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you.
Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.